some things down, some different offensive looks. I think what we're going to see is more roll out and sprint out as well. Get the quarterback out of the pocket, get him on the edge, buy him some time. He's athletic. Let him make his passing plays from there.
The intangibles go to Hazleton area tonight. They have senior night. The seniors right now being introduced on the field. Also, Dennis Bookman talks about a program-defining win, and he thinks a win over Berwick would be just that, because if you look at the series, 10 times in a row, Berwick has defeated Hazleton area.
40 wins for Berwick, just 7 wins for Hazleton, and actually it's 21-5. That was the score, 40-7 last year. So yeah, when a team takes it to you the year before and you feel that you have the edge, and a series that's very lopsided, like you mentioned, 21 wins for Berwick, just 5 for Hazleton, it would be program defining. It's one of the big confidence builders to beat the big name program. And it's sort of that springboard this program needs.
Hazleton coming in 2-2. Berwick 1-2 with the victory over Pittston area, sandwich round losses to Lake Lehman and Williamsport. Dennis Bookman is that first-year head coach for the Cougars. We'll hear from him when we return. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio HLN.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
Do you have the right financial advisor to help you reach your goals? Ameriprise Advisors can create a personalized, goal-based plan to help you prepare for whatever life brings, so you can feel more confident about your financial future. Call Jeffrey McKinnon, Certified Financial Planner with McKinnon Financial Group, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. 570-520-4137. The office is located at 118B East 3rd Street in Berwick, Pennsylvania. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Member of FINRA and SIPC.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative EP Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Just a gorgeous night for high school football here at Harmon Guys Stadium as Berwick gets set to take on Hazleton area in the 27th meeting between these two schools. First-year head coach Dennis Bookman has Hazleton area playing very well right now, particularly on defense, and back-to-back wins over Tunkhannock and Pittston area. The Cougars' defense has given up a total of 7 points. They've gone 7 straight quarters without giving up a single point. Bookman on why his team is so good defensively.
You know, we preach in our program to trust, love, and commit. And the big thing we wanted to do, especially defensively this year in our program, was emphasize getting 11 hats to the football every single play. And, you know, we started telling our players in the preseason, in the summer, a defensive player's commitment to his team is where he is when the whistle blows. And the big thing for us right now is making sure that we pursue to the football and we get 11 scarlet and silver jerseys to the football every single play.
Your quarterback, Keller Warner, didn't play against Berwick a year ago. He had some decent numbers, but seems like he's coming on. He had a career-high 344 yards just 2 games ago. Talk about his progress this season.
Yeah, Kellen's just, he's such a special player. And even more importantly, he's a special person. He's the first one to arrive to the stadium each day out of our players. He's the last one to leave. He's taken on such a leadership role this year. He realizes, with great expectations comes great responsibility. Kellen's somebody who just continues to get better and better because he wants to get better. He's, a gym rat. He wants to be in the film room. He's constantly asking questions about different progressions and coverages and, protections. He's a really special player. And as I told Kellen time and time again, our team and our offense go as Keller Warner goes. And he's kind of taken that personally, and he wants to continue to have this Hazleton area offense get better and improve each week.
Well, next up for you, this game against Berwick, what are your specific concerns with that?
Well, first of all, Berwick, we know the mystique with Berwick, and we know that's a big rivalry for our program. We haven't, beaten Berwick in 10 years. They're such a physical football team. They're such a well-coached football team. Coach DiFrancesco, what a staff that he put together, and, he has people around him, and, he's been coaching, and, he's done such a wonderful job with many programs, and this Berwick program is no different. They can beat you many different ways, and ultimately they play team defense. They're a really physical team, and as we told our players, anytime Berwick's coming to town, you can expect a physical, hard-fought, hard-nosed football game.
That's Dennis Bookman in his first season as head coach here at Hazleton area after 6 seasons as an assistant under Mike Brennan. Mike moved on to take the job at the Danville. Bookman is the 7th Hazleton area head coach since that jointure in 1992 that joined Hazleton, the West Hazleton, and Freeland. But he is the first Hazleton area grad to coach the Cougars. He was a terrific player here, 4-year varsity player, 3-year starter at wide receiver, and also an all-state defensive back in 2006. He has his Cougars playing very, very good football right now. They've won 2 games in a row, coming to this one against the Bulldogs, a team they have not beaten since 2009. Hazleton area against Berwick. We'll check the starting lineups when we return. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio, HLM.
We're Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg, home of the Blaze Alexander lowest price guaranteed. Whether it's a new GMC Sierra 4x4, Acadia, or Terrain, or any of the full lineup of Buick SUVs, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed. We've got a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles too. Local one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Why shop anywhere else when you'll get the best selection, the best financing, and the most for your trade at Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg? We're taking deals the other guys won't.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
If you're in the Hazleton area and looking for a haircut, then go to David's Barbershop, 36 Kennedy Drive, McAdoo, next to the firehouse. David's is the oldest barbershop licensed in Pennsylvania, 1912, and still operating today. Have your hair cut by David, a skilled professional with the latest styles and always a friendly atmosphere. David's Barbershop, 36 South Kennedy Drive, McAdoo, next to the firehouse. No appointment necessary. Open 5 days a week, 9 to 5. Closed Sundays and Mondays.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog Football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
A rare Saturday night game here at Harmon Guy Stadium in Hazleton. The two teams, Berwick and Hazleton area, getting together. Berwick requesting an extra day to their week because otherwise they would have had just 2 practices prior to this game. So it got to be at least 3. Harmon Guy Stadium, named after the first superintendent of Hazleton High School, David Harmon, and his first principal, Thomas Geist, dedicated back in 1939. Gorgeous night for football, light breeze, mild temperatures in the 60s as the Bulldogs look like this on offense. The starting center for the second straight week will be Bruce Hartman, 5'11", 225-pound sophomore. He's filling in for Jake Lanning, who's out for another game with a knee problem, 6'2", 215-pound senior. Jake also the long snapper for this team, very valuable member, but Hartman filled in ably in his debut against Williamsport a couple of weeks ago. The tackles for Berwick, the left tackle is number 56, Nate Traw, 5'10", 190, a senior. The right tackle, number 70, Xander Unger. He is 6'3", 250 pounds, a junior. Besides starting at the right tackle position, Xander has taken over the long snapping duties for Jake Lanning. At the guards, big number 61, Ethan Hughes at the left guard, 6'3", 295, a senior. And the right guard, number 77, Jordan Young, 6'1", 240, a senior. At the wide receiver positions for Berwick, we'll see a number of people, including number 20, Braden Boone, 5'8", 150, a junior, 4 catches for 35 yards. We also might see Devin Smith at that position. Smith, 5'8", 150, a senior, will also be at a running back spot. He's caught a couple of passes for 16 yards. We may see number 21, Rowan Slabinski, 5'10", 175-pound junior, at a wide receiver as well. The quarterback for the Dogs is number 17, Benny Noor. He's 5'10", 175, a junior, has completed 45% of his passes through 3 games, 15 for 33, 196 yards. He's rushed for 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bulldogs are happy to get Aiden Mason back at the fullback position. He wears number 16. He's 5'10", 220 pounds, a junior, good size, good speed. 15 carries for 67 yards, but he was hurt early in the Pittston area game on the second week of the season, and this will be his first action since then. Bulldogs desperately need some play from that fullback spot, especially with Mason Lawbaugh out after being ejected in the Williamsport game. And so Aiden Mason hoping to go strong here for the Bulldogs tonight. Sean Sheptak, one of the most versatile of the Bulldogs in the offensive end, 6'2", 210-pound senior. We'll see him a little bit everywhere. He's rushed for 96 yards and a touchdown in 16 attempts. He's also caught 5 passes for 97 yards. So that is the Berwick offensive lineup. Bulldogs averaging 21.6 points per game, heavier on the rush than the pass, 193 yards rushing, 65.3 passing. For the Cougars of Hazleton area, the tight end, number 25, Dante Mattarella. He is 5'10", 200 pounds, a senior. He's rushed 3 times for 10 yards and a touchdown. Hasn't caught a pass yet. Jason Beaver is the starting left tackle. Big guy, 6'4", 280, a senior. Johan Robles is the left guard. He wears number 51. He's 6 foot, 225 pounds, a senior. James Bugda is the starting center, wearing number 53, 5'8", 230, a senior. The right guard, number 58, Seth Hunsinger, 6 foot, 215, a senior. And the right tackle, number 61, Gavin Guza, 6'2", 220, a senior. So this Hazleton area team features some really talented sophomore skill people, but that offensive line, including the tight end, all seniors. At the wide receivers, we'll see the leading receiver in the Wyoming Valley Conference with 21 catches, including 3 for touchdowns. Number 13, Matt Casadas, 5'11", 160 pounds. Fellow sophomore Connor Shamani is the 3rd leading receiver in the conference. 16 catches, 196 yards. He is 6'1", 170, a sophomore wearing number 6. The quarterback is number 12, Kellen Warner. Andy mentioned earlier the Bulldogs won this game handily last year, 40-7. Warner was injured, did not play in that game. He's 5'10", 180 pounds, doing a good job, completing 57% of his passes for 728 yards, 4 touchdowns. He has been intercepted 5 times. Not a running threat to this time. In fact, including sacks, obviously, minus 5 yards in the rushing department. The leading rusher for this team is the brother of head coach Dennis Bookman, Matt Bookman. He is 6 foot, 185 pounds, a sophomore. Third in the Wyoming Valley Conference in rushing at 262 yards, 61 attempts, averaging 4.2 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. They'll also throw to him 5 catches for 29 yards. The fullback is a good one. We'll talk a lot about him on defense. He wears number 42. He is Kevin Mileski. He is 6'1", 220 pounds, a senior. 30 carries on the season for 92 yards and 3 touchdowns. He can catch the ball as well. 5 receptions for 41 yards and a touchdown. So that is the starting lineup offensively for the Cougars of Hazleton area under Dennis Bookman. In his first season as head coach, they come in 2-2. The Cougars against the Bulldogs. Keys to tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Well, when you look at the keys, Jim, for Berwick, I think defensively they're going to have to stop the pass. Hazleton wants to make that pass go. That's the key to their success. They have the great quarterback, as you mentioned, in Keller Warner. Tops in the top 3 in all the categories that you look at. He's averaging 182 yards a game throwing. He's throwing at 57%. He has 2 great sophomore receivers in Matt Casatis and in Connor Shamani. They're 1 and 3 in receiving catches and, right up there with yardage as well. So they have the passing game. They have good blocking, and that's what they want to do. So Berwick has to put the kibosh to that. How do you do it? The line is a little bit thin. Mason Lawbaugh's out again. But I've been very impressed with the play of 2 of Berwick's sophomores. Bruce Hartman, a defensive tackle who's moving to defensive end, and also Spencer Kishbaugh, who we featured in the pregame show. Kid's been a boxer. He has a physical toughness, uses his hands well. Both have been featured in the first 3 games of the season. And I think you're looking at 2 bookend defensive ends that could cause trouble for opposing quarterbacks. And they're going to have to step their game up tonight. Berwick's secondary is a little depleted. The linebackers are kind of juggled about who's who, who's where. But the one sort of factor in there that I think settles things down is Sean Sheptak. I think he's going to anchor things at free safety. I've been very impressed at the growth of him as a football player from last year to this year. He's gained a confidence. He has a strong physique. He has everything a football player needs. I think having signed, onto a college recruiter, I think that means a lot to a player like him, that he's finishing out his career and he wants to finish strong. I've been seeing very physical play when he carries the ball offensively with violent stiff arms. I've been seeing violent hits. And I think with him at free safety, able to quarterback back there, it should be a settling influence on the younger members of the defense. So Berwick's defensive key, stop the pass. Turn it around offensively. Berwick's facing a very strong defense. It's only giving up Hazleton, the Cougars giving up 11.5 points a game. That's wonderful numbers. They'll see a strong front 4 that tends to neutralize and keep people off the linebackers. And the linebacking core is strong. The strongest, and you were mentioning him from the fullback side, Jim, Kevin Mileski. He stands at 6'1". He's 220 pounds. He's been recruited by colleges as well. He is a force on the inside, and Berwick's going to have an awareness and keep hats on him. It's a young secondary, but while it's all sophomores, notice the names. Those 2 great sophomore receivers, Connor Shamani and Matt Casatis. And in the middle, the coach's brother, Matt Bookman, who's the running back. So it may be young, but it's talented. So it's a good defense. What does Berwick do to be able to score or play keep away? Well, normally we're talking about option football. And I think Berwick will run some option, but I think we're going to see that surprise. We've been tipped off a little bit. They've been working some other things in their few practices this week. We expect to see a lot of shotgun, the running game from shotgun. We expect to see passing, but more of sprint-out passing. Get their quarterback out there to the outside where he has a little bit more time to make the throws. So I don't know exactly how we're going to see the offense. They haven't had a whole lot of time to prep the new look, how much they'll rely on the old look. How they replace people who aren't there in uniform tonight is another part of it. But I've been seeing from Berwick tremendous effort and desire from the players, even when they have been outmanned and, the numbers have been down. I've been impressed by the effort of the players on the field. I've been highly impressed with the coaching. I think the strategy has been very, very strong. It's been a chess game all along. I think they've been making the right moves. It's just, a lot of things haven't gone their way, and they hope to turn it around now.
You mentioned the sophomores in the Hazleton area secondary. They also have the 2 outside linebackers are sophomores. So there's 5 sophomores in that back 7, including Connor Kundrat. And he merits talking about 5'10", 170 outside linebacker against Pittston area. How about this for a game? He blocked a punt. He intercepted a pass in the end zone. He recovered a fumble. He had 2 sacks.
Is that all?
If your parents weren't at the game, you come home. How'd you do, son? Well, I mean that is one of the great games that I've ever heard of. Is the Cougars just now making their way on the near side of the field? Scarlet jerseys, silver helmets, silver pants, and white numerals across the way. Bulldogs in their white jerseys, white pants, blue numerals. I'll tell you, those blue jerseys for Berwick, they've been sitting there a long, long time. This is strange. We're going, Andy and I are in our second consecutive week without a Friday game. A long time since that has happened. So it's the Cougars against the Bulldogs. We'll be back with the kickoff. You're listening to Berwick Football and Sports Radio HLM.
Go Bulldogs from Tri-County Lumber on South Poplar Street, just off Route 11 in Berwick. From the planning stages to the purchase, all the way through to the last nail being hammered, the staff at Tri-County Lumber in Berwick is at your service. Located just off Route 11 on South Poplar Street, Tri-County Lumber offers professional design for your kitchen and bath, cabinetry, and countertops. The products and service you are looking for are located just off Route 11 in Berwick on South Poplar Street at Tri-County Lumber.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
Forge Pub and Eatery on 11th and Mulberry in Berwick is where you need to go when you want a delicious homemade meal. Even the salad dressings are scratch-made. Open every day at 11 with free delivery to the Berwick area. And check out their Facebook page to get the daily specials. They have a full bar, 10 beers on tap with 5 rotating seasonal brews, and an extensive selection of domestic and craft beers. It's the perfect place to go out with colleagues or for date night. Forge will always impress. Forge Pub and Eatery in Berwick is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs football team.
Have you heard the buzz about Bazing? Discover the money-saving benefits of a new Bazing checking account from First Columbia Bank. You'll earn interest and save money with local and national shopping and dining deals. And that's not all. You'll also get cell phone protection, roadside assistance, prescription drug savings, and more. Plus, for a limited time, when you open your new Bazing interest checking, we'll thank you with a free pair of Century earbuds. Now that you know what the buzz is all about, make a beeline to First Columbia Bank and open your account today. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Just about set to go here from Harmon Guys Stadium as Berwick takes on Hazleton area. The officiating crew for this game, Harry Caskey is the referee. The umpire is Al Williams. Chuck Hannon is the linesman. The line judge is Chris Basic. Chad Obert is the field judge, and Kevin Harry is the side judge.
Always good to get to Harmon Guys Stadium, Jim, and nice to see some fans here on the near side, the Hazleton side, socially distanced in nice groups. The governor has allowed for a little bit more, depending on the size of the stadiums. And over across the way behind Berwick, we see a number of parents who've been issued tickets and able to come in and see things.
Yeah, we haven't seen any people in the Berwick stands since that opener. Lake Lehman did allow some tickets. The last 2 teams, Bitson-area and Williamsport, did not. But there will be some Berwick backing across the way. This is a big game for Hazleton area, and it's a big game for Berwick. Berwick wants to get their season turned around. It seems like it's It's been a stop-and-go season, which it has. Just 3 games in, and here we are on October the 10th. And Hazleton area, of course, they want to get a victory over Berwick. 2009 was the last time they defeated the Bulldogs. That was a game here at Harmon Guys Stadium. 28-6 was the final. Berwick will get the football to start this game, and they will be moving from our left to our right. Devin Smith and Isaiah Tripp are deep, awaiting the kick from Luke Russo for Hazleton area. It's the Bulldogs against the Cougars on a Saturday night. You may recall, if you're an old-timer, Berwick used to play all their games on Saturday night. They were one of the last holdouts.
May see one next week.
I'm hearing that, as Russo's kick is very, very high to the far side of the field, and Devin Smith fields at the 13-yard line. Smith to the 20, to the 25, and hit and drop over the 30 at the 31-yard line.
Nice tackle by Seth Hunsinger in there. Jim got down well.
Here's Hazleton defensively. Andy mentioned Seth Hunsinger. He's at a defensive end. Matt Barrett's at the other end. Jason Beaver, James Bugged at the tackles. Kevin Mileski, Dante Mattarelli. Inside linebackers, Ryan Matthews, Connor Kundrat outside. The corners, Matt Casadas and Connor Shamani. And the safety, Matt Bookman. 1st and 10, Bulldogs at their own 31-yard line.
Aiden Mason in there as the sole running back. Good to see him back healthy.
Benny Knorr under center. Man in motion is Devin Smith. Mason gets the call off the left side, has running room down that sideline. May have the first down depending on where they mark it. But a good first down carry, the return of Aiden Mason.
Pushed out about 9 yards into the run, but yes, it was. And it was an option look. The quarterback went opposite the play. So breaking from the option look from the get-go here.
Boy, there's an innovation. You look at the down marker across the way, it's lit up. I've never seen that. 2nd down and 2, 8 yards on the first carry for Aiden Mason, his first carry since early in week 2 at Pittston area. Again, he is the lone running back behind the quarterback, Benny Knorr. A wing to either side. In motion comes Devin Smith. Aiden Mason gets the call, has the first down, then some over the 45 and out to the 48-yard line. Aiden Mason finally dragged down by Ryan Matthews, but back-to-back 9-yard carries by Mason and a 1st and 10 Berwick at the 49.
Berwick is overloading play side. They have a big player in there. Xander Unger looks like he's out at tight end. Plus Sean Sheptak is sort of a wing, and they're blocking down, giving him that corner very nicely.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Rowan Slabinski is a wide receiver to the right. Again, a wing to either side. Mason, the lone running back. Knorr from the 49. Sends a man in motion. Gives to Mason. This time he's stacked up. Does get over midfield to about the Hazleton area 48-yard line.
First play that had the look of option. That time they were coming to the right, the wide side here toward the Hazleton sideline and the press box from our vantage. But that was down the line option where the quarterback put it in his stomach, rode him on in, gave it, and then continued with the fakes. So they haven't abandoned the option look. There they pounded inside for about 3.
2nd down and 7. Berwick at the Hazleton area 48-yard line. Taji Taylor lines up as a receiver to the right. 2nd down call. In motion comes Sheptak, a pitch to him. He gets outside right, turns the corner at the 40 and ridden out of bounds inside the Hazleton area 40-yard line of Berwick, 1st down.
Using his speed, coming in motion, half moon from the left from a wing-back position, takes the pitch behind the quarterback and then accelerates to the right side. He got a little bit of a block from Devin Smith, didn't need much, but he was able to occupy that man as Sean Sheptak able to run on by.
9 yards on the carry. 1st and 10 Berwick, marching off the opening kickoff. They started at their own 31. It's now at the Hazleton area 39. Slabinski wide to the left side. Sheptak on a wing left. Devin Smith wing right. Knorr under center. 1st down call. Smith goes in motion. The call goes to Aiden Mason off the left side, and not much doing. Picks up a yard, maybe 2 on the play. Hazleton area's James Bugda, Max Barrett among the people in on the play.
Again, the look that we're seeing that's unique, Jim, is that Xander Unger, instead of playing a tackle, has shifted out to a tight end, and often it's play side. Next to him, you see Sean Sheptak. So two big, strong athletes, and they're crashing down with their blocks to try to open things wide.
2nd and 9, Bulldogs from the Cougar 48. And now for the first time, Noor will operate out of the shotgun. Hazleton area showing blitz. Noor fakes handoff, keeps the football, lots of room, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and Benny Noor's going 38 yards for a Berwick touchdown.
Exciting run. The thing is, he rode the fullback to the left, pulled it out, and then went inside the fullback, and there was a tremendous seam. So while people are thinking down the line option and the quarterback taking it wide or staying with Aiden Mason, who's been effective, Mason ends up being the fake, and the quarterback takes it inside of him, finds a seam, and showed tremendous speed to score that 38-yard touchdown.
Third rushing touchdown of the season for junior Benny Noor. And now Brendan Hinkle, 8 for 9 on point-after touchdowns this season. A bad snap. It goes low, and there'll be no chance as Braden Boone, the holder, falls on it. Time on the field. 9:36 to go. Opening quarter. Berwick 6. Hazleton area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio HLM.
See the winning lineup of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and also quality pre-owned vehicles at Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Berwick. They have a body shop and a full service center servicing all makes and models, and they've been servicing your community for over 30 years. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram has earned the highest possible ratings from Chrysler and the prestigious J.D. Power Award for Excellence. Need a truck? Bear has a vast inventory, including 2020 Ram Motor Trend Truck of the Year, or choose one of the 50 new Jeeps in stock. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Pine Street in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog Football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Great start to this football game for the Bulldogs. They take the opening kickoff, go 6 plays, 69 yards. Benny Noor running 38 yards for the touchdown. Unfortunately, a bad snap of the extra point attempt. 6-0 Berwick. 9:36 to go, opening quarter. Hinkle gets the kick away. A low bouncer and picked up at the 20-yard line. And the return by Casadas over the 30 and out to the 37-yard line. So a short kick and a good field position for the Cougars.
It was Tristan English eventually bringing him down, but the short kick and the nice return gives Hazleton nice field position.
And English is supposed to get a start at linebacker along with Taji Taylor, Benny Noor, and Ryan Mendez Tejada at the strong safety and weak safety. Front four, Bruce Hartman, Brian Noor, Ethan Hughes, and Spencer Kishbaugh. The secondary, Devin Smith, Braden Boone, and Sean Sheptak. So 1st and 10, our first look at the Hazleton area offense. They have it at their own 38-yard lines. There's a slot to the right. Christian Price is wide to the left. Man in motion. And it's a keeper by Warner trying to get outside. Doesn't get much as Bulldogs turn it back in. And he gets to just the 41-yard line.
But it was a very nice fake, and it looked like he was going to get wide. Tremendous pursuit by Taji Taylor from the inside linebacker position. He eventually turns it back inside. Sean Sheptak wraps him up.
Taylor's been terrific since he moved to linebacker. 6'3", 215, a junior. He leads the team in tackles with 23 coming into this one. Slot to the right, slot to the left. Warner out of the gun. Back to throw, fires, has his man. A quick tackle at the 45-yard line.
Very, very quick tackle by Devin Smith coming right up on the man. He'll get a few yards on that. My Evans, they're spotting it at about a 7-yard gain, 6 or 7.
Connor Shamani with the catch. Smith with the quick tackle. They give him 5. It's 3rd down and 2. Cougars at their own 46.
Boy, he played it very, very well, but good execution on the part of Hazleton. Can't ask much more of a cornerback. Played any tighter, you risk getting beaten deep. So just credit the execution, shake it off, and come back next time.
Casadas and Shamani in a slot to the left. The give on the play is to Bookman, looking for the first down yardage, and I don't think he got it.
Tajee Taylor stepped up and met him, Jim. He's a big fella. I'm surprised. 6'3", 215 is Tajee Taylor, and he's not afraid to mix it up physically. He'll keep him short. They're on the wrong side of the 50. Take a risk in punting, but I think you take the risk here. Would you?
Yeah,
fourth and a foot.
If you want to beat Berwick for the first time in 10 years, you got to take some chances.
I think you do. You certainly come out barking signals if you save yourself enough time, but they're slow in getting the play in. Might just quarterback sneak it.
Keller Warner, after going to the sideline for the play call, is under center. I formation, that big fullback, Mileski, ahead of him. Berwick almost jumped off. Bookman gets the call. He doesn't get the first down. He doesn't make it. He stopped at the 45-yard line.
Tajee Taylor beat people into the backfield and pulled him from behind. He was fronted then by Brian Knorr, who wouldn't give any ground. Berwick jumped, flinched, came into the neutral zone, but got back. No one else moved. They let play continue. Everyone saw it. It was clear. Hazleton wanted the offside call from their fans, but no flag, and Berwick makes a huge defensive stop.
Bulldogs lead at 6-0, and they take over at the Hazleton area 46-yard line. 7:07 remaining in this opening quarter. Benny Knorr is the quarterback. He is under center. Aiden Mason behind him as the lone running back. In motion comes Devin Smith. Mason gets the call, hit behind the line. Well, that's a good defensive play. Connor Kundrat from his linebacker. Make that Dante Mattarella. Mattarella on the play brings down Aiden Mason. And it'll be right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
He read it well from his outside linebacker position, was able to get some penetration, get him low, below the knee, and tripped him up.
So Bulldogs, who've been ahead of the sticks in this opening quarter, now is facing a 2nd and 10, and Knorr will operate out of the gun. The slot to the right, the slot to the left. Takes the snap, fakes handoff, keeps the football, has running room, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, Benny Knorr again. This time 46 yards for the score. Berwick doubles their lead.
Wow. Quarterback coming out of nowhere. Again, the fake dive looking like option to the right. Going over the right guard, but now the quarterback goes over the left guard. So trickery by design, people following the fullback, over pursuing. The blockers have the angles as linebackers move out of position. And a beautiful run. Tremendous speed by Benny Knorr. Berwick's going to go for 2 here, Jim.
Knorr's longest run of the season had been 38. That was on Berwick's first possession. Now it's 46. And now he'll try to tack on 2 to that 12-0 lead. Slot to the right, slot to the left. Knorr out of the gun. Sheptak in motion to the right. Knorr fires past too low for the intended target. Sean Sheptak. So timeout on the field. 6:17 to go opening quarter. Berwick 12. Hazleton area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio HLM.
Surprise that special someone with jewelry from J. Lilo Jewelers in downtown Bloomsburg. Lilo's is a full-service jewelry store offering one of the area's largest selections of diamonds, wedding bands, watches, sterling silver, and gold jewelry. Lilo's repairs jewelry and watches on site. You may also find that one-of-a-kind piece in the popular estate section. Come in and see Jeff for that special gift for that special someone for any occasion at J. Lilo Jewelers, 140 East Main Street, Bloomsburg. J. Lilo Jewelers wishes all athletes success this season.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
With just 3 days of practice to get ready for this one, Berwick wasn't sure what they'd see from their team coming into this one. So far, so good. 2 possessions, 2 scores, both long runs by quarterback Benny Knorr. 12-0 Bulldogs, 6:17 to go opening quarter.
Wonderful blocking assignments, getting people to move out of position with the initial fake and then blocking them down and out.
Hinkle again kicks it short, rolling along the turf. picked up at the 26-yard line, and Tristan English is all over the returner short of the 30-yard line.
Yes, he is. Big good put down there.
So Hazleton area will get it for the second time as Shimani on that return for the Cougars. Remember, this is a Hazleton area team that had gone 7.5 quarters without giving up a single point. And Berwick's put 12 on the board, 6-12 remaining in this opening quarter.
Yeah, two very nice touchdowns off the option look. Following the initial fullback fake, the quarterback going in an area he's not expected to run and showing amazing speed. Talk about the fresh legs, Jim. They are there.
1st and 10 Cougars. Moving from our right to our left, they have it at their 29-yard line. Out of the gun, the give straight ahead, and a gain out to about the 33-yard line. Ryan Matthews got the carry for the Cougars.
Ryan Noor rode him as well. He had 2 steps into the backfield, saw the delay coming, and just jumped on the man's back, and eventually the weight brought him down.
2nd down and 6. 4 yards in the first play. Keller Warner goes to the sideline after every play to get the call from the sideline.
Just the second carry of the season for Ryan Matthews, Jim.
Now out of the gun. Protector to either side. Back to throw. Warner pump fake. Now he's looking long downfield. Casadas incomplete. Hazleton area looking for a call. They don't get it. Braden Boone on the coverage for Berwick.
He had nice coverage, too. They ran and sprinted together. You can see that the Hazleton speedster looked like he was just going to get that step. Slightly overthrown and perhaps some slight contact toward the very end of the play. I would not have thrown the flag.
3rd down and 6. Cougars at their own 33-yard line. With Berwick already up 12-0. It's a big 3rd down for early in the game. Slot to the right, slot to the left. Warner out of the gun, has the snap, back to throw, fires a bullet to the far side, has his man, Shimani, 1st and 10 out near midfield. Beautiful throw, Keller Warner to Connor Shimani.
Yeah, it looked like about 17 yards as I eyeball it. A deep out pattern. Boy, the quarterback does have the arm. Keller Warner threw for 1,103 yards last year. We missed him as he was injured in the Berwick game. He shows what he can do.
Now they quick up the pace as they come right to the line of scrimmage, but then they stall and look to the sideline for the play call. From midfield, 1st and 10 Cougars. Warner from the shotgun has the snap, lobs a pass out to Casadas, and he's brought down for loss in the play. Terrific play by Benny Noor. Taji Taylor was there as well. Berwick all over that completion.
Yeah, they ran a man deep down that side, but Benny Noor understands his coverage is short. He saw the swing man coming, and he came up, as did Taji Taylor. Great hit.
Loss of 3 on the completion. 2nd down and 13, Cougars at their 47.
Who caught that, Jim?
3 receivers to the right. Casadas caught that last pass, and then he was wrapped up for -3. Quarterback draw. Warner has running room and gets the Berwick 46-yard line. Not known as a runner, Tristan English makes the stop from his linebacker position.
Yeah, the numbers aren't there as a runner, but you're not exactly sure. Did he lose so much in sacks to negate any positive running? Up-tempo.
3rd and 6. Again, Hazleton area goes quickly to the line of scrimmage, but then they look to the sideline. 3 receivers to the right. 3rd and 6 in Berwick territory. Warner back to throw. Big pass rush. He is going to be sacked. Back at the 43-yard line. First one there was Spencer Kishbaugh. He got a hand on him, and then it was finished off by 3 Bulldogs.
Yes, it was. Playing left defensive end. Came a long way. Got the quarterback. He actually run past the quarterback and grabbed the jersey. Spun him. Would not leave go. And then, as you mentioned, more Bulldogs come and finish off the sack.
Braden Boone, I say it trip. Isaac Tripp back, anticipating the punt from Luke Russo. His kick is away. It will be Tripp. Fielded at the 21. He muffs it. And then he's able to get on at the 23-yard line.
Didn't seem in the flow of the game, Jim. The 2 return men were kind of still moving on back, looking to each other when the ball was snapped. So not as prepared as they need to be. Sprint out to that position, get ready, and make the play.
And we talked about the 2 long runs by Benny Knorr for touchdowns, but boy, when you can establish the fullback in this offense, as they did early with Abe Mason, that opens up a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, they followed him, 3 or 4 people moving to him on his first move, and then it's just a deking inside or outside of him with the quarterback that opened up the huge lanes. And credit the blockers. They knew the play call. They knew where the deception was and what they needed to open.
1st and 10, Bulldogs at their 23. Knorr out of the gun. Has the snap. Gives the ball to Aiden Mason. Trying to sweep the left side. Looking for some room. Not much there. They force him out of bounds at about the 26, maybe the 27-yard line. If that's the case, then a 4-yard gain. They'll take that.
He rides him wide. Not a fullback dive ride, but sort of a fullback sweep ride. And out on that far left side, Sean Sheptak is able to chicken fight enough with his man that Aiden Mason can sidestep and gain 4 yards.
2nd down and 6. Berwick at their own 27. Bulldogs move from our left to our right with that 12-0 lead. 3:33 remaining in this opening quarter. Slot to the left, slot to the right. Taji Taylor now is a wide receiver to the right. Knorr out of the gun. Sheptak comes in motion, takes the handoff. He's hit behind the line, the 22-yard line. Terrific defensive work by Hazleton area's Seth Hunsinger.
Yeah, the blocker couldn't quite front him. So the man had gotten through, was behind the line of scrimmage, the blocker on him, but can't do anything. As Sheptak tries to get wide, he would just have to keep barreling back deeper and deeper and couldn't do it.
Now a very difficult spot for Berwick. They face a 3rd down and 12 at their 21-yard line.
Have not thrown a pass yet.
And they had all kinds of difficulty in their last game 15 days ago against Williamsport in protecting the passer. And this is an obvious passing situation. We'll see how they do.
You could play it conservatively. You have a 12-0 lead. You got the 2 touchdowns.
Slot to the right, wide receiver left, and Berwick will use the timeout. 2:37 to go, opening quarter, 12-0 Bulldogs. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio, HLN.
AC Global Staffing is seeking men and women to work in warehouses, all shifts, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Call today, 570-501-1762, or stop in at AC Global Staffing at 101 West Broad Street, Hazleton, Suite 603-604. If you're looking for warehouse work, hurry. Call 570-501-1762. That's 570-501-1762. AC Global Staffing.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Jim Doyle and Andy Lickney from Harmon Geist Stadium. First quarter action, 2:37 to go. Berwick has scored on their 2 previous possessions. They lead 12-0. However, following their timeout, they face a 3rd down and 12 at their own 21-yard line.
You mentioned normally a passing down if you're going aggressively to get to the chains. I don't know how aggressively I'd go here. Right side of the field is to the left. If this quarterback is to get any time from past experience, he's going to need to roll out. Usually like to roll out wide side. Rolling left to a right-handed thrower. Not a whole lot in Berwick's favor here.
Knorr out of the gun. 3 receivers to the right. Has the snap. Fakes handoff. Keeps the football. Has some running room. Ball loose at the 24-yard line. And Hazleton area is on the football.
Yes, they are. Trying to see who comes up with it. That's number 10 with the football for them, Brian Mattias. The big hit was the linebacker, number 53, James Pagata, actually a down lineman in this defense. Not fooled by the quarterback, faking one way and going the other. The lineman put the big hit on him, forced it out of the quarterback, and a turnover for Berwick sets Hazleton up in wonderful field position.
So Hazleton gets a big break that they need with 2:32 to go in this opening quarter. 12-0 is the Berwick lead, but the Cougars 1st and 10 at the Bulldog 24-yard line. Slot to the right. Warner gives the ball to Buckman. Has running room to the 20. Nice move to the 15 and down to the 14-yard line. Matt Bookman. Good game by him.
They'll certainly move the chains with that. He's deep in the eye, gets ahead of steam, and there's no one to slow him down till he's through the linebacker area. Well, moves the chains with an exciting play right after the turnover as Hazleton shows the advantage of momentum.
1st and 10, Cougars at the Berwick 14-yard line. 10-yard run by Matt Bookman. Slot to the right side. Mileski to the right of Warner. Gives the ball to Bookman. Tries to get outside left. Strung out by Benny Knorr and a loss back to the 20-yard line. Terrific play by Knorr.
Yeah, I remember when we talked to the coaches how much would Benny Knorr be playing defense because he quarterbacks. They said he's just that good. We can't give him up defensively, and that's the type of play that shows it. Wide side of the field with a very talented runner, one of the best in the conference. All kind of open field. He keeps the inside position, preventing a cutback, and makes the play on him.
Loss of 5. 2nd and 15. Hazleton area at the Berwick 19-yard line. Clock running, 1:19 to go in this opening quarter. It's been all Berwick to this point, but the Cougars threatening. Protector to either side of Warner, who has the snap pump fake. He's going for all of it to Shemani, and the ball is tipped and incomplete. Terrific work by Braden Boone in the corner of the end zone.
Yes, it was. I think he sensed the play was going to try that little pump and go again. Kept himself deeper than the deepest. Berwick had 2 people, safety and corner, on each receiver in twins, plus a man underneath. So able to give up enough room as this team needed. 15 yards. They defended the end zone very well there.
3rd and 15. Cougars at the Bulldog 19-yard line. Big play coming with Berwick leading 12-0. 3 receivers to the left. Shemani wide to the right. Warner awaits the shotgun snap. Has it. Back to throw. Plenty of time. Fires for the end zone. Going high and making the catch for the touchdown. Hazleton area is on the board.
Casatis, Jim. Matthew Casatis, number 13. He worked his way down to the goal line. Turned and jumped. Almost a hook pattern, but deep. They figured they'd use his height, his athleticism. He went up high, and even though the hit's put on him immediately, he grabs it to the chest, I think his number, but makes the touchdown catch.
And now the extra point attempt coming from Luke Russo. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field. 1:01 to go opening quarter. Berwick 12, Hazleton area 7. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio HLN.
Choose with confidence. The Medicine Shop.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescriptions.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog Football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Hazleton area cashes in on the first turnover of the game. Benny Knorr coughs it up. Ryan Matthews recovers to the 24, and then on a 3rd and 15 from the 19-yard line, Keller Warner goes to the leading receiver in the Wyoming Valley Conference, sophomore Matt Casatis. Luke Russo with the extra point. 12-7 is the Berwick advantage as Russo tees it up.
Yeah, pretty much threw it up in the middle and said, my guy's going to get this. Of course, they're looking for the ball. Their backs aren't too. Just defense often is. But a wonderful play by Matt Casatis to grab it high at the high area.
Russo's kick is high and angles toward the sideline. And Tripp will field it at the 10-yard line, looking for room. He gets by one man and then is gained tackle at the 15-yard line.
He was caught in no man's land. He was hoping it would bounce out of bounds, and you'd like that to happen. Otherwise, he was going to have to pick it up around the 6. He let it bounce, and he could see this isn't going out of bounds, nor is it going to reach the end zone safely enough to avoid a possible onside kick coverage. So he was forced to take it deep, tried to use his speed across the field, and did what he could with it.
Now Berwick takes over at their own 15-yard line. This game could turn around here. The Bulldogs are not able to move it from their own territory.
And they haven't thrown a pass yet, so does Hazleton start cheating up and playing more people against the run?
Isaac Tripp on a wing to the right side. Back to throw is Noor, and he's going to be sacked. Back at the 5-yard line. That is Berwick's major weakness right now on offense. They cannot protect the quarterback.
They wanted to go with the screen, but they wanted to fake to the right, turn and throw it left. When the quarterback turned and went in that direction, Benny Noor saw a man in his face with his hands up. That was Max Barrett. So he couldn't throw it, and eventually he's enveloped in that man for the deep sack.
That was the major issue at Williamsport in the loss in Berwick's last game, as the first quarter is going to come to an end. With the score, Berwick 12, Hazleton area 7. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio, HLN.
Berwick Notary Center, 1544 Orange Street, State Route 93, has been serving the Berwick community for over 50 years with the highest quality service as well as the lowest prices available. They offer services for driver's licenses, instant camera cards, registration renewals, boat, ATV, and snowmobile transfers. And they are messenger and agent approved. Open Monday through Friday, 9 till 5, and Saturday, 9 till 1. Check out their Facebook page or email them directly at berwicknotary@yahoo.com. Berwick Notary proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs. Go Dogs!
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog Football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
One quarter in the books here at Harmon Guy Stadium in Hazleton. Berwick leading Hazleton area 12-7, but this game is turned around after a quick start by the Bulldogs. Hazleton area taking advantage of a fumble recovery at the Berwick 24, getting a touchdown pass shortly after that. And now, after a quarterback sack, Berwick deep in their own territory, down near their 6-yard line, as they'll move from our right to our left, facing a 2nd down and 19.
It was a new-look pass for Berwick. Deep drop by the quarterback, Benny Noor, who turned to his right with a pump fake like a swing pass in that direction. Wanted to set a screen up opposite. But as we mentioned, Max Barrett storming in from that opposite side just took his whole vision away, gave him no lane to throw, and he was forced to eat the football.
Very, very difficult spot for the Bulldogs, deep in their own territory. They cannot protect the quarterback with passing situations. So probably go to the run. But a lot of yardage to make up as Sheptak goes in motion. The give is to Aiden Mason, and nothing doing. They have lost yardage off that right side.
Yeah, the defensive line is applauding itself. Seth Hunsinger among the Cougars in there on the tackle. Aiden Mason had such a strong start to the game. He's a guy who plays well when there's confidence behind him, and he started out strong. Now when things go a little bad for the team, not the same oomph in that particular run, not the same blocking that he was getting. And Berwick moving backwards.
Loss of 3 on the play. 3rd down and 22 for Berwick. Back at their 3-yard line. Noor under center. Sheptak comes in motion. Toss to him in the end zone. He has to battle to get out of the end zone. Does he get there?
No.
It's a safety for Hazleton area.
Hazleton read that sweep coming from the half-moon motion, the end-around look. They just kept pushing him to where he had to try to bubble back. He knows he's in danger in the end zone. Then he eventually runs out of sideline, and 3 yards short of the goal line itself, he is pushed out. And Hazleton gets the points, and they'll be receiving the football.
Wow, big turnaround this game. Risky play, a toss sweep to Sheptak deep in his own end zone. Wasn't able to get out of there. Now it's 12-9, and Hazleton area will get the football and probably have good field position to boot.
Probably will. They did play it well. I can't even give you a tackler, Jim, because one strung it out, the other one strung it out. And from him, they strung it out again. And then Sean Sheptak, nowhere left to run, pushed on out of bounds. So strong defense in the entire series by Hazleton when you take a look at it. The beautiful sack on the attempted double screen, losing them 10 yards and putting them deep in their own territory. Follow that by the strong hit on Aiden Mason, where they're coming through on a man who hurt them early in the game. And now reading that sort of jet sweep action, half-moon sweep that got deep in the end zone. They earned their 2 points and earned possession of the football here after the safety. Berwick has the option of kicking this from a tee or punting it. Many teams will punt it, trying to get it good and high. You punt from your 20-yard line. And, of course, it's hard for people to get much action with a punter. Looks like they're putting it on the tee, though.
Yeah, they've been kicking very, very short.
I'm surprised.
And they'll be kicking this time from the 20-yard line. Short kick would give Hazleton area the ball on the Berwick side of the field. So Brendan Hinkle will get all he can into this one. As he does kick long. It's a nice kick. Bookman will field it on the hop at the 25-yard line, the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45 to midfield into Berwick territory at the 40 and down to the 37-yard line. Flag down on the play, behind the play.
I didn't see. Usually that's an illegal block of some sort. But, boy, he came on up and there was a bunch of players gathered near the hash. Somehow he got between them, split them, even with a little bit of a skip step up in the air to get through it. And then you wondered, would anyone stop them? Devin Smith eventually getting the angle from behind and able to put the stop to that. But a wonderful return on a ball he couldn't even field in the air.
Some of it will come back as they're marking it off. Boy, it's a terrific kick by Brendan Hinkle.
Yeah, he kicked it beyond what the returners thought they could do. He put it down to the 25-yard line. That's where it was picked up by Bookman, but he was able to kind of roll behind it and get himself ahead of steam and a look at the football field. But fortunately for Berwick, the infraction will bring it back to the 40-yard line of Hazleton.
So the Cougars will have it at their own 40. Berwick going to the sideline. Was there a timeout call?
Hazleton was on its sideline, so Berwick figured they'll go to theirs. Hazleton has to get out, huddle, and do all that unless they're coming immediately to the line with the play, and that is what they're doing.
1st and 10, Cougars. They scored on their last possession, and they scored on Berwick's possession. And they trailed 12-9 with 10:55 to go in the first half. Warner gives the ball to Bookman. Bookman has some running room, and then he's brought down quickly at the 43-yard line.
Benny Knorr on the backside of that counter tray. Saw it coming at him and closed quickly. Kept it to a 2-yard gain. Could have been more.
2nd down and 7 as they mark it at the 43-yard line. Cougars have won 2 in a row coming into this one.
They played with formation on that last play, overloaded the left side with people, but then brought a wing back in that counter tray blocking where normally the guards would pull and got the kick out.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Slot to the right. I formation. Mileski's in there as the fullback ahead of Bookman. Play action back to throw. Warner looking long for Casadas. Tries to make it over the shoulder catch and cannot. Couldn't stay in bounds. Hazleton area very upset. It was right on their sideline. As Ryan Mendez Tejada right there with him. Boy, what a beautiful hookup, even though it won't count.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think you need slow motion and maybe you'd throw the flag if you had that call. I can't say if he was in or out, and I have a beautiful view of it. He caught it while he's at the sideline. In high school, you need possession with 1 foot in. He may not have finished the catch while his 1 foot was in. And I think I might have wiped that away in second thought.
Matt Casadas is a terrific receiver.
Oh, yeah.
And just a sophomore. He's in a slot to the right. Shimani, fellow sophomore, outside of him. 3rd and 7 for the 43. Berwick showing blitz. Warner back to throw. They beat the blitz. They get the throw. They get the first down out just over midfield.
Check the spot. It's right at the 50.
Casadas makes the catch as he went high in the air. That's a terrific play on his part.
Yeah.
And it is a first down. Hazleton area at midfield.
And the official on the far side quickly moved the chains where I wasn't sure by where I could see the far chain and where the ball is placed now. But they moved them quickly, so first down it is, and it was a beautiful play. Casadas is quite the athlete and just a sophomore, as you said, Jim.
He is in a slot to the right. Shemani outside of him. Warner out of the gun. 1st and 10 from midfield. The call goes to Buckman, running room off the right. Inside the 45, flag down the play as he gets to the 40-yard line. This one may be coming back.
A helmet came off of a Berwick player. Ethan Hughes is putting it on. Now, see if they send him to the sideline or not.
They will, but it is an illegal use of hands against Hazleton area.
So that will bring it back. I've been impressed with Hazleton's play call. The way they're balancing the pass and the run. They have such talent in the passing game. Yet coming into this game, they basically had 99 passing attempts and 100 rushing attempts. So start focusing too much on guys like Casaitis and Shemani, and all of a sudden they give it to Bookman and he's making it happen. A nice versatility in the offense and a good balance in the play calling.
Keller Warner is showing his maturity. He just kept an assistant coach away from the referee. So it's just a 10-yard penalty and not 15 more. So the Cougars have 1st and 20 at their own 40-yard line. 9:55 to go in the half. Berwick leading 12-9. 4 receivers to choose from. 3 to the left side. Warner out of the gun. Back to throw. Here comes the rush. He steps up into it, and he'll be sacked back at the 33-yard line. Coverage sack because he had plenty of time to look downfield.
Tashi Taylor eventually came up and made it. He wasn't necessarily blitzing, but he was eyeing the quarterback from his short zone. He saw the quarterback step up, and he goes, I got to fill. He was the last man. He doesn't make that. That quarterback's going to run for nice yardage. But very heads-up play by Tashi Taylor at his inside linebacker position to locate where the quarterback was and saw him stepping up to run.
2nd and 26 Cougars. They had the ball back at their own 34-yard line. Shemani wide right, Casaitis in a slot to that side. Warner has a protector to either side of him as he takes the shotgun snap and pump fake and looking to throw. Avoids a tackler, avoids another. He's got to be brought down for a loss. We'll call it a sack if it's at the 33-yard line.
Bruce Hartman is the man who eventually chased it down, Jim, but he's under duress from the entire front 4. They're forcing him out of the pocket as he steps up and tries to change direction. Bruce Hartman changes direction with him, and he'll be credited with that sack.
3rd and 27. Normally, you would say a high school team will play it very, very cozy, but when you have these receivers and this quarterback that can go long, they may take a shot at it.
They may, but Berwick's been applying the pressure as well. Of course, you can do a single receiver pattern and keep in maximum protection. 2 backs.
3rd down. The call goes to Bookman. Bookman has some running room, and he's dragged down at the 41-yard line. He'll pick up 8, but they needed 27, so the punt team will come on for the Cougars.
Hunter Madel getting some action this game. Jim made that nice sure tackle. Knew the man had to go a long way. You can give a little bit of ground. Bookman gets a few yards on that.
Madel is a junior, 5'8", 165-pounder. We talked to the secondary coach, Bo Orlando, before the game, said expect to see him some, as Russo's kick is a line drive kick. Tripp will let it go out of bounds on the far side. It's a very, very good punt by Russo. It goes out the 15-yard line. Boy, Berwick has had the worst of field position their last 3 possessions, including this one, but they have a 12-9 lead with 7:41 remaining in this opening half.
Often you encourage your return men to stay away from a bouncing punt, but it's bouncing at the sideline and no one's down on it. You might be able to play that bounce safely and just knock it out of bounds that way rather than give the extra 5 yards or so.
Berwick doesn't need to score in this drive, but I think they need a couple of first downs.
They need to make something happen because all of a sudden Hazleton has taken control of the Berwick offense. They need to make some things happen offensively.
Knorr will operate out of the gun. Line of scrimmage, the 15-yard line. Benny Knorr has the snap. Going to keep the football himself and gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Yeah, everyone's just collapsing on him, Jim.
Johan Robles, 225-pound senior, in there on defense right now. Makes the stop, 2nd down and 10. Berwick scored in their first 2 possessions. They've really struggled since.
Yeah, and I don't know what the answer is. All of a sudden, Hazleton is wised up to what they saw early. They're stopping quarterback runs. They're focusing in on stopping the fullback. There's been no real passing threat. Berwick needs to come up with some weapon.
Slot to the left side. Sean Sheptak in that slot. Taji Taylor, tight end of that side. Knorr has the shotgun snap. Back to throw. Here comes the pass rush. He's in trouble, and he'll be down at the 14-yard line.
Felt pressure from the left, turned to the right. Felt pressure that way, turned up the middle, and nowhere to go. They wanted to run just a quick little slant pattern, but it was covered over the middle. They couldn't really throw that. No time to find any other receiver.
3rd down and 11. Again, the Bulldogs facing a 3rd and long situation.
Wide side of the field again to the left.
Last 2 times they faced 3rd and long was a fumble lost and a safety given. So this is not a good situation for Berwick. At 3rd down and 11. Knorr under center. From the 14-yard line. Gives on a double handoff. Devin Smith has it, has some running room, gets out over the 20 to the 22-yard line. Make that Isaac Tripp on the carry. The double handoff first to Sheptak, then to Tripp. Nice yardage, but not enough, and the punt team will come on.
I'm not even sure if he was supposed to pitch that back again to the quarterback like we saw at Williamsport, Jim, for the flea flicker. But he didn't feel it was safe to make that pitch because the defensive end was going to take it away, so he turned it upfield. Nice run, but just short of the marker by a yard.
Sheptak back to punt. Again, the Bulldogs without their regular long snapper, Jake Lanning. Xander Unger with a good snap. And the kick is away. Very, very high. And bounces on the Berwick side of the 50-yard line. So Hazleton area will take over at the 46-yard line of the Bulldogs, just 24 yards of that punt. And the Cougars looking for their first lead of the night. Trail Berwick 12-9, 5:08 remaining in the half.
Berwick's defense has looked stout on occasion. They're going to need to turn in another performance here on this series of downs. Been getting some nice pass rush on obvious passing downs, but Hazleton has 1st and 10 here. And have that nicely balanced attack where run and pass are both very effective for them.
1st and 10. Cougars at the Berwick 45-yard line. They put a lineman in the backfield to block for Bookman, who tries the right side. Berwick closes quickly. He does pick up close to 4 to the 41-yard line.
They put 2 linemen over to the left side, but like wingbacks, but behind the tackle. And then they pull to the right on counter tray action. They showed it a little bit earlier. It's a power football ploy. Everyone on the right side is blocking. Now these 2 additional men come and then run a strong runner like Bookman there. They'll take 4 yards there.
2nd down and 6. Hazleton area at the Berwick 41-yard line. 4.5 minutes to go in this opening half. Bulldogs clinging to a 12-9 lead. Casadas in a slot to the right side. Berwick jumped across 5. The easy way for the Cougars.
Yes, it is. Matt Lonzinski inserted as a defensive lineman. He's a backup quarterback. A youngster who's very big. In there, a little bit too itchy. They'll set up a 2nd and 1.
So the Cougars have a down to play with. You can go for the first down here with just a yard to go, or with all those talented receivers, maybe you go long, although they are bringing in the big fullback, Mileski.
The thing, if you go long, Jim, though, they've been suffering sacks, so I think you play this safely. Their power game looks like it wants to get itself generating. I think they're going to power.
Bookman gets the handoff off the right side, the first down and then some. Matt Bookman gets close to the 30-yard line.
Well, you know, the whistles come in a little late, so they pick him up and carry him back 5 yards. That's the reaction from the fans. Big, strong fullback, as you mentioned in there, Jim, with Kevin Mileski. We haven't seen him that much offensively. He led the way through the hole. Widens, Bookman takes it. Sean Sheptak stands him up, but he has 7 yards by that point. And then the rest of the team joins in and pushes him back.
Hazleton area, all their timeouts remaining. No problem time-wise. We have 3.5 minutes to go. They have it to Berwick 30 after that 6-yard gain by Matt Bookman. Mileski still in there. He's to the right of Warner. Bookman to the left. Casadas in motion right to left. The call goes to Bookman again. He gets to the 25, maybe the 24-yard line. Quick hitter by Bookman. Madel in on the stop for Berwick.
Yeah, basically the same play from a different formation. They're going to have two protectors each side of the quarterback. One is that big fullback, number 42, Kevin Mileski. He leads over right guard, and Bookman follows him again. And again, it's Sean Sheptak coming up from free safety, having to make the stop, but not until there's a 6-yard gain again.
2nd and 4, Cougars at the Berwick 24. Bookman again off the left side. Taji Taylor with a hit after a short gain on the play.
Matt Lonzinski also grabbing him and throwing him down hard, trying to match the physicality there with the hit.
Picks up a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 2 at the Berwick 22.
Which in my mind is 2 running plays to get to this. You can even 2 quarterback sneaks if you choose. A little far for a field goal for high schoolers. You're in 4th down territory. You want quick hitters where you're not going to lose yardage.
Big blocking backs to the right. Bookman goes to the left. And he gets the 1st down, I believe, inside the 20.
Yeah, I thought so too, Jim. Little deception. High snap, and until he got it down and gave it to Bookman, people were kind of reading things. But he sidesteps and goes a little bit outside his left tackle and found room out there and gains the chains.
Needed 2, got 2. 1st and 10. Hazleton area at the Berwick 20-yard line, 1:38 in the clock running. Again, no problem with time. Cougars with all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
And they may go to the passing game now.
Bookman now is a wide receiver to the left. He comes in motion to the right. They're going to option right. The pitch is to Bookman, and Bookman is hit hard. Gets down, though, to about the 16-yard line. Boy, he was stood up at the 20. Nice power run by him and a lean to get some yardage.
Hunter Madel's the man who came up and put that initial hit on him, but he couldn't wrap. And Bookman, experienced, having these early games under his belt, ran with intensity and continued to run and made positive yardage on it.
3 yards to the 17-yard line, and now the Cougars will use one of their timeouts. 54 seconds to go in the half. 12-9. Berwick, you're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio, HLN.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
54.3 seconds remaining in the opening half. Berwick 12. Hazleton area 9. Cougars 2nd and 7 at the Bulldogs 17. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Obviously, they'd like the touchdown to take the lead at the half. They do have a good place kicker in Luke Russo. Out of the gun. Warner back to throw. Plenty of time. Throws long to the end zone. Double teamed in the end zone, and the ball is intercepted.
Sean Sheptak.
Intercepted by Sheptak on the return down the far sideline. 30, 35, 40. Sheptak at the 45-yard line. Huge play. Sean Sheptak.
And eventually Kevin Mileski pulls him down on the final cutback because his speed, if he crossed the field, was going to take it all the way. Would have been about a 107-yard return. Sean Sheptak was back in coverage. They were throwing to the deep post on the far, the deep flag on the far side. Sheptak gave a little bit of a push. I was looking for the flags. He got away with it. That separation let him go high and catch the ball. A lot of people assume a touchback. Sean Sheptak didn't. Decided, hey, I have this whole sideline. Everyone else is stopped. People weren't even sure he had the ball. He couldn't see it back there. So he brought it up the Berwick sideline, first 40, 50 yards, no one near him. Then tried to cut it back near midfield before they were able to bring him down with a heads-up play by Kevin Mileski. First interception of the year for Berwick, I believe, Jim.
First interception in a Berwick game this season as Sheptak with a huge play. Everything going Hazleton area's way toward the end of that half.
And how close to a touchdown return that was. Oh.
And they have a good place kicker, so they are feeling, at worst, we're going to come out of here with a tie. But Berwick has that 12-9 lead. Flag down on the play. Berwick took a lot of time to get in there, and they took too much time.
Yeah, it's not a timeout after a turnover. There's a stoppage of the clock, but the 25-second clocks do run. Harry Caskey, seeing it clearly from his position behind the offense, flags Berwick the 5 yards.
First and 15, Bulldogs. 38 seconds remaining in the half. They have it now at their own 40-yard line. They do have 2 timeouts remaining. I don't think they'd use those unless they could pick up a big chunk of yardage on this play.
Harry Caskey in a discussion with umpire Al Williams, and now he's yelling over to Carm DiFrancesco what it was they interpreted there.
Knorr out of the gun. Has the snap. Back to throw. Looking long down the far sideline. Incomplete.
Yeah, it was number 3, Isaac Tripp, who has that great speed, Jim. They were kind of chicken fighting all the way down, a little hand fighting, but I said they let it go on Sheptak in the end zone where he got the interception. They're going to let it go on Hazleton this way. So they're letting the players a little free with the use of hands and a little bit of contact.
32.7 seconds remaining in the first half.
You're very precise.
Yeah.
If they give it to you, we'll give it to them.
Let's see how Berwick plays it.
Yeah.
They went for all of it that time. Knorr out of the gun. Hazleton ready to tee off on him. He gives a handoff straight ahead.
Aiden Mason
Nothing
and nowhere.
doing by Aiden Mason. A timeout is called. This one may be by Hazleton area. We'll check it.
I would assume it would be. Can't see where Berwick would want to stop the clock. Penetration right through, 2-3 steps into the backfield. Aiden Mason gets it and nowhere to go.
That's actually an illegal procedure against Berwick.
Oh.
So Hazleton area keeps their 2 timeouts. Ball will be back at the 35-yard line. Second down and 20. Clock begins to run. I'm thinking Berwick's going to take a knee and go in with the lead.
That's what I would do. Of course, it's second. You can do it on third and then kill it on fourth. Is there a stoppage now? Yes, there is. Hazleton Berwick timeout.
We'll take one as well. 12-9 Bulldogs. 15 seconds to go in the half. You're listening to Berwick Football and Sports Radio HLN.
Officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
17 seconds remaining opening half. Berwick following their timeout. Second and long from their own 35-yard line. Benny Knorr has the shotgun snap. Back to throw. Big rush. Hit and dropped at the 36-yard line. Gains a yard on the play.
Seth Hunsinger again coming down on him. I believe it was a design quarterback draw that time, Jim. He went back very comfortably, planned it, and then came up. There's the half.
Hazleton area keeps their timeouts, so the first half has come to an end. With the score, Berwick 12, Hazleton area 9. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLN.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
If you're in the Hazleton area and looking for a haircut, then go to David's Barbershop, 36 Kennedy Drive, McAdoo, next to the firehouse. David's is the oldest barbershop licensed in Pennsylvania, 1912, and still operating today. Have your hair cut by David, a skilled professional with the latest styles and always a friendly atmosphere. David's Barbershop, 36 South Kennedy Drive, McAdoo, next to the firehouse. No appointment necessary. Open 5 days a week, 9 to 5, closed Sundays and Mondays.
Are you looking to meet an elder care need? Do you or a loved one need assistance with any of the instrumental or basic activities of daily living? Brookdale Senior Living has a solution. Brookdale Bloomsburg, located at 420 Schaefer Road, is a premium personal care home offering a family atmosphere along with round-the-clock nursing care. Call 570-387-6868 to learn more. Better yet, we invite you to drop in and meet the Brookdale family and learn how we can offer an optimum aging experience for you or a loved one.
After serving their country proudly, the associates at J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling are ready to serve their community and you directly. They bring their military standards of respect, integrity, and trust to your junk removal needs. Their services include light hauling, contractor cleanup, general labor services, hot tub removal, estate services, and many more. Contact them at 844-GET-JDOG or check out their reviews on Facebook and Google or stop by their homepage at jdog.com.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Jim Doyle and Andy Alickney from Harmon Guys Stadium in Hazleton. We're at halftime with Berwick leading Hazleton area by a score of 12-9. Bulldogs opened this game in a flourish. Took the opening kickoff, their own 31-yard line, drove to the Hazleton 38-yard line, and from there, Benny Norn, a keeper up the middle, 38 yards for the touchdown, his longest run of the season to date. 6 plays, 69-yard drive altogether. There was a bad snap on the extra point attempt, and Berwick led 6-0, 9:58 remaining in the opening quarter. Hazleton area got the ball, faced a 4th down and 1. At their own 46-yard line. They gave the ball to their leading rusher, Matt Bookman, and Tajee Taylor made the big play for Berwick, and the Bulldogs took over. And 2 plays after Taylor's play, Benny Norr again. This time, similar play, this time 46 yards out for the touchdown. And Berwick doubled their lead. Pass for the extra point attempt failed, but with 6:17 to go in the opening quarter, Berwick had a 12-0 lead. And then Berwick with a big turnover. As Benny Norr fumbled, Ryan Matthews recovered at the Berwick 24-yard line. On a 3rd down and 15 from the 19-yard line, Keller Warner found his favorite target, Matt Casadas, in the end zone for the score. Luke Russo with the extra point. That came with 1:01 to go in the opening quarter. And Berwick's lead was cut to 12-7. Bulldogs, early in the second quarter, backed up deep in their own territory. In fact, they had the ball at their own 3, facing a 3rd down and 22. They pitched the ball deep in the end zone to Sean Sheptak, and he was not able to get out of the end zone. Tackled for the safety, cutting the Berwick lead to 12-9. Then it looked like Hazleton area was going to either take the lead or tie it before the half, as they had a ball in Berwick territory. Late in that half, back 38 seconds to go, they faced a 3rd down and 7 at the 17-yard line. Kellen Warner threw to the end zone, and Sean Sheptak, deep in that end zone, intercepted the ball, returned it all the way to the 45-yard line, was one Kevin Mileski tackle away from taking maybe 107 yards with a score. Berwick was able to run out the clock, and that's how we stand here at halftime. Berwick 12, Hazleton area 9. We'll check the first half stats with Andy Lickney when we return. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLN.
In 1949, Jacob Ripa and his brother Al had $500 saved and opened a jewelry store. Since then, the Ripa name has become synonymous with workmanship and service. Today, Jake Ripa carries on that tradition with their exquisite collection of fine jewelry of heirloom quality. Located in the Laurel Mall and their design and repair center at 22 West Broad Street, Ripa's will become your jeweler for every moment you cherish.
Ask Ameriprise financial advisor Jeffrey McKinnon, certified financial planner, about the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach. It's a personalized, flexible, step-by-step approach toward financial balance. Call Jeff today at 570-520-4137. The office is located at 118B East 3rd Street in Berwick. The Confident Retirement Approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services, a registered investment advisor.
Quality care for your dental health at Berwick Dental Arts, 105 West 9th Street in Berwick. State-of-the-art equipment comes together with a tradition of 45 years of personalized care. From the youngest to the oldest patient, let Berwick Dental Arts doctors and staff take care of every aspect of your dental needs. They'll process all types of insurances. Make your appointment today. Call Berwick Dental Arts friendly staff at 752-4542. Berwick Dental Arts, making smiles beautiful.
Mason's Monogram in Berwick is gearing up for the holiday season. With over 30 years experience, this family-owned and operated business has the perfect Christmas gift for anyone, whether you shop in person or buy online at masonsmonogramming.com. They have the latest selection of Bulldog items, masks, robes, blankets, winter gear, and apparel. Indestructible silicone cups, koozies, decals, brand new Berwick Christmas ornaments, and more. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Halftime from Harmon Geist Stadium. Numbers on the scoreboard show Berwick 12, Hazleton area. Numbers on the stat sheet, Andy Lickney.
It pretty much shows that, Jim, but it's not the feel I get out of the game. Yeah, it's 12-9 in favor of Berwick, and on the stat sheet in total offense, it's 106 yards for Berwick, 88 yards for Hazleton. There's certainly a parallel there, but the game had this funk to it. In the opening minutes, most of the first quarter, it was all Berwick. I mean, Berwick was dominating. Hazleton couldn't stop them. The running game was there. They were pounding and making things happen, and Aiden Mason was running like a man possessed, and then at a certain point, things changed. Hazleton took control of the game, and it looked like Berwick didn't belong on the field with them at some times. Now, Berwick came up with some big defensive plays. The offense still didn't generate anything. So it's hard to say which way this is going to go. I'd certainly like, the Berwick lead of 3 points at this juncture, but I think they'd feel a lot more comfortable if, as we said, Sean Sheptak could have done the 107-yard return and taken it all the way, but one more man stopped him from crossing the field and using the rest of his speed. Let's look at the numbers. For Berwick, 106 yards on the ground, no yards in the air, 106 total. Only one pass being attempted. Berwick called a few other passes, but Benny Noor not getting time to throw, finding people in his face. So he's 0 for 1 in the passing game, no yards in the air. Running, Aiden Mason started the game strong, knifing on through, using some sort of single-back sweep actions. He has 23 yards on the half on 7 carries. Off of his running, though, quarterback Benny Noor was able to veer inside on one play and go for a 38-yard touchdown. And on the next series, we're outside on the same type of fake. That time going 46 yards for the touchdown. So Benny Noor is the leading ball carrier of all the teams with 71 yards on 6 carries. Mason, we mentioned, 23 yards on 7. Sean Sheptak, by design, has had 3 carries, but just 1 net yard. He started with a nice 9-yard gain, and then they noticed him coming in motion, stopped him for a loss, and then stopped him for a loss in the end zone for a safety. Other runners, Isaac Tripp had 1. I believe it was going to be a flea flicker where a pitch came off of a handoff to him, and I think he wanted to go back to the quarterback, Benny Noor. It wasn't there. He turned it upfield and made a nice 11-yard gain on that. So in all, 17 running plays for Berwick, 106 yards, nothing in the passing game, 106 yards. 1 fumble hurt them. Minimal penalties, though, and that's a big improvement over the Williamsport game where they had 13 penalties for 131 yards, and it just killed them in that game. Playing pretty well overall when it comes to limiting the penalties. 106 yards is more than the 88 yards that the Hazleton area Cougars have. They have 17 running plays for 33 yards, 5 of 9 passing with the 1 interception for 50 yards. So while in my mind it seems like they have more, they've suffered some penalties that have brought their team back for some considerable yardage, whether they're on specialty team plays or some of the offensive plays. But the feel is that they've done a little bit better than that, but the numbers show it differently, just 88 total yards. In the running game, it's pretty much all Matt Bookman, the coach's brother, a unique one you don't see all that often. He looks very strong and very dangerous, but he's running from deep in the eye. So he needs the first 6 or 7 yards to get back to the line of scrimmage. In all, 11 carries for 34 yards. Other than that, Ryan Matty has had a surprise carry, a 4-yarder. He only had 1 other carry all year. And then it goes back to the quarterback, Keller Warner. A couple by design early with his runs, then sacked 3 times. So he's 5 for -5 yards on the night. A net of 33 yards on 17 running tallies for the Cougars. 5 of 9 passing for Kellen Warner. The 1 interception deep in the end zone and 50 yards in the airways. Matt Casadas is a very fine receiver, just a sophomore, as is Connor Szymanity, the 2 receivers who have yardage in this game. Casadas, 3 catches, including a 19-yard touchdown pass. He was dropped for a 2-yard loss, plus a 10-yard gain. So 3 for 27 for the leading receiver in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Connor Szymanity has 2 catches, a 5-yarder and a 17-yarder for his 23 yards. 23 and 27 makes 50 in the air. Add it to the 33 on the ground, a total of 88 yards. They suffered 1 turnover, that being the interception. And they were going in for points. Probably could have had a field goal from the position they were in. Could have had this game tied. Instead, that interception almost goes all the way. But as it is, it's stopped, and it's 12-9 here at halftime, Jim.
Interesting first half of football. Bulldogs with a 3-point lead. We'll be back with the second half kickoff. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio, HLM.
Whether it's the heat of the preseason or the heart of the postseason, teams will always get a little boost from playing at home. Speaking of a boost at home, State Farm can boost your savings when you combine your homeowner's insurance with your auto coverage. So score 1 for the home team. Talk to State Farm agents Lori Powell or Sean Black in Berwick, or Melissa Price in Nescapac about big savings for combining home and car coverage. Give State Farm agents Melissa Price, Sean Black, or Lori Powell a call today.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative EP Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Both teams have made their appearance on the field. We're a couple minutes away from the kickoff to start the second half. Berwick leading Hazleton area by a score of 12-9. Mentioned before the game the significance of this one for the Cougars. They are well aware of the fact that they have lost 10 straight times in this series to the Bulldogs. Last win came right here back in 2009. No stadium in the United States needed artificial turf more than this one.
Yeah.
There was a time when Hazleton High School, West Hazleton High School, Freeland, Bishop Hayfie, not sure about Weatherly. I think they had their own field, but you got at least 4 high schools, plus junior high, JV, youth ball, and boy, it looked like it was suited for a rodeo if you came here late in the year.
And winter set in early up here, too.
Yes, that's true. My favorite story, and forgive me, folks, if you've heard this before, but former Berwick assistant Keith Seeley gave me this story. He was playing a 9th grade game against Hazleton area, and a Berwick player ran 90 yards for a touchdown. This is late in the year on a muddy field. How muddy was it? Well, during the course of the run, the player lost his shoe. And here's how muddy it was. They never found the shoe. The other unique part to this, and when Andy coached at Southern Club and he played Freeland up here, he was aware of it, and I saw it in many broadcasts. This used to be a minor league baseball field. It was dedicated as a football field in 1939, but the football field the baseball field, they had a wonderful old-time grandstand on the far side of the field to our left, and that was there until the 1980s, even when it wasn't being used, obviously, for baseball. Andy, we see a big development in this game as we look down on the field. Kevin Mileski, who is a terrific two-way player for the Cougars, does not have his helmet on. Trying to see whether his left arm is some kind of sling.
Ice on the shoulder. That's what I'm seeing. Ice taped on the left shoulder, no shoulder pads. He looked healthy enough in the final 2 minutes. He was leading the way as a blocker for Matt Bookman, and he created some nice holes. I think it was 2 6-yard gains in a row that mattered prior to the interception. And, of course, he's a maniac defensively, just a great player. So, yes, him unable to go certainly does handicap the Hazleton Cougars.
So 12-9 is the score. Berwick has the lead, but Hazleton area will get the football to start this second half. Can't really second-guess Hazleton area going for the touchdown late in the half. I mean, they were in field goal range. They could have gotten the tie, but, boy, when you have that talent at wide receiver and a quarterback like Warner, it's usually worth a shot. Great play by Sean Sheptak.
Well, and we noticed on the first touchdown that Hazleton scored, they'll throw it up as a jump ball, and Matt Casadas is going to win that jump. So when you have that type of talent, you say, let's go for it. But Berwick plays with a true free safety. You know, whether it was Tegan Wilk or Dre Wilk or now forced into action, Sean Sheptak has to fill that spot. You get the guy who has the football savvy. He can read the quarterback's eyes. He knows the hot receivers. He's up there at about 6'4". He gave a little bump that was allowed, went up high, and not only intercepted, but said, you know what? I can run this out of here. And from the spot where he suffered the safety, he then takes the interception and goes up the sideline 50 yards, realizes I'm going to have to cut back. And the last man, it was that injured fellow with the ice pack who stopped him, Jim. It was Kevin Mileski who made the saving tackle.
Second half underway as Brendan Hinkle skitters along the turf. It'll be picked up by Buckman at the 19-yard line, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. Buckman still on his feet. Good effort over the 35 to the 36-yard line. So the Cougars moving from our left to our right have the football. Berwick leading this one by a score of 12-9.
Ryan Mendez to Hayden getting in and finally fronting that and stopping it. Don't know what I'm thinking about these skittering kicks, Jim. They're still getting to the deep man, and they're still running very well and getting good field position.
And Hinkle showed after the safety that he's got a leg.
He had a boom to it.
So here we go. Again, Mileski not in there. They'll operate out of the pistol. Buckman's behind Warner. Buckman gets the call, tries the middle, and picks up about 2 to the 38-yard line. This is a Hazleton area, all senior offensive front, tight end, tackles, guards, and center. So it's a veteran group. Berwick's handled them pretty well. 2nd and 7 there.
Yeah, Ethan Hughes, a senior for the Bulldogs, in on that tackle. He'll get about 3.
Berwick's got some size at those tackle positions.
Yep.
295 Hughes and 275 Brian Knorr. Then you've got the 2 talented defensive ends. So it's a good front four for Berwick, even without Mason Lawbaugh. 2nd and 7 from the 39-yard line. Warner back to throw, and he fires over the middle, incomplete. Not sure where that was headed.
He tried to find the throwing lane as Berwick is collapsing on him through the right side between the defensive end and defensive tackle, but it came up very short. I was following it to where I thought it was going to go. Instead, it's hitting the ground well short of that. So an incomplete pass there for Keller Warner. He was 5 of 9 for 50 yards in the first half with that late interception.
3rd down and 7. First 3rd down call of this second half with Berwick clinging to a 12-9 lead. Cougars have a slot to the right and a slot to the left. Warner has the shotgun snap, and he's back to throw, and he's looking long down the far side, and he has a man. Incomplete. The Berwick defender had fallen down. If that pass is on target, that is a touchdown.
Oh, yes, it would be. Couldn't catch the number of the fallen cornerback, but he was down, but overthrown as Berwick breathes deeply on the sidelines as that fly is going over on that side.
Evan Matthews was the intended receiver of the pass beyond his reach. And Luke Russo back to do the punting. Gets the kick away. Tripp will be hit. The ball is loose. Flagged out on the play. He did not call a fair catch, but you still have to give him room to get it.
Yeah.
It looked like the player made contact before the ball got to Tripp.
That should be a penalty, and I would think 15 yards. Michael Maston is the man. He's the number 2 who came in and tackled before the ball was caught. Now, they're going to huddle to make sure they all saw it the same way.
It's a tough timing thing for the player coming down. If he realizes there's no fair catch,
you want to put the hit on him.
Right. But you've got to time it.
You've got to let him catch it. So from that spot, Berwick then had a man pick it up and turn it upfield and was getting some nice yardage. But they blew it dead. I don't know the rules well enough. Harry Caskey and his crew is out there. So they're going to march it off, I would think 15 yards from the point of that early hit rather than late hit.
Which looks like it'll be marked off from the 27. So Berwick will get it. Boy, field position was a real problem for the Bulldogs in that second quarter. They always seem to be backed up deep in their own territory. This will be a much better situation for their first possession of the second half. As they move from our right to our left, they have a first down after the penalty at their own 42-yard line.
Aiden Mason is in the backfield.
12-9 is the Berwick lead. First snap of the second half for the Bulldogs. Knorr out of the gun. Back to throw. Fires way, way over the head of any intended receiver. Looked like Devin Smith, the only one in the area, incomplete.
Yeah, but he's not 7 foot. More diminutive of the Berwick players, and he would have needed a stepladder to come anywhere near that one.
It's just hard to believe that you can beat a good team like Hazleton area without being able to throw even a little bit.
Well, they tried that time, a very quick release, but nothing on target, even when he's not having the pressure on him.
2nd down and 10. Berwick at their 42. Under center now. And the give is to Mason off the left side. He's dragged down as he gets over the 45 to the 46-yard line. 4 yards in the carry by Aiden Mason.
Connor Kundrat with a real nice tackle. Aiden Mason, when he's really on his game, gets those legs chugging. And he normally can get himself a forward lean and drag people. But Kundrat was able to pull him back. So a win for Hazleton there when it comes to almost attitude.
First 3rd down situation for Berwick in the second half as Braden Boone splits wide to the right. Devin Smith in a slot to that side. Rowan Slabinski to the left. Protector to either side of Benny Knorr, who waits the shotgun snap. 3rd and 6. Give us to Sheptak. He'll sweep the right side, looking for room. Hazleton area is all over the play. He will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, it was a nice play trying to catch the number. I think Connor Kundrat again, Jim, this time widening, playing on the left side. Sees the sweep coming, comes up and meets him, and he'll either line of scrimmage or a loss of half a yard.
Yeah, he lost a yard. So the defenses come up big on the first possession for each team in this 3rd quarter. Sean Sheptak will be back to punt. His last punt very high, but only went 23 yards. He's awaiting the snap from Xander Unger. Another good snap by him. Kick is away again. Not very long. Very, very high. Then takes a great bounce where Berwick is concerned. And will roll dead about the 21-yard line. So the Cougars get it for the 2nd time in this 3rd quarter. Berwick continues to lead 12-9, 9:02 remaining in the 3rd.
Turning into a defensive ball game, and both defenses have looked strong. Berwick's managed to have a number of people step up, working into new positions, juggling who's where with the personnel changes and the number of people they have out. They're certainly undermanned in this particular game with only how many, 28 people in uniform, Jim?
That's it. In a long time since I remember. In fact, I don't ever remember Berwick with under 30 in uniform. Confusion on the part of the Cougars. They are forced to burn a timeout. 9:02 remaining in the 3rd. Berwick 12, Hazleton area 9. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio, HLN.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing, specializing in metal and rubber shingles. Most roofing work is done in one day, so remember the name, Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Red's Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Early here in the 3rd quarter, Hazleton area just used a timeout they did not want to use, but there was considerable confusion on lining up from the part of the Cougars. We'll mark that down. Close game. That timeout could be big later on, but now they have it 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. Slot to the right side. Officials set play. 2 running backs for Warner. A draw play to Buckman. Buckman looking for room. Good second effort. Bookman is over the 25 to the 27-yard line. It's a nice 1st down carry. First draw play we've seen in this game.
Yeah, and Danny Hale draw, the old sprint draw. Look like you're moving to the right. Keep that tailback back. Even move him a step with you, and then boom, against the grain. He had a lot of room, a lot of yardage to make up till he got back to the line of scrimmage, but then fought himself for about 7 before Hunter Madel brought him down.
2nd down and 4. Cougars at their own 27-yard line. Protector to either side of Warner. And now Mattarelli goes in motion to the left. Draw play again to Bookman, and Berwick's all over the play. Got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a half yard.
Spencer Kishbaugh saw it, coming in on a hard charge from defensive end, flattened his angle down, and was able to catch that draw. They'll gain a yard or two, so it'll be 3rd and a long 1, short 2 coming up.
Yeah, they actually gave him a generous spot out to the 29-yard line. 3rd down, and we'll call it 3 for the Cougars near their 29-yard line. Warner, as he's apt to do, occasionally they'll speed it up, but most of the time he trots to the sideline to speak with first-year head coach Dennis Bookman. 3rd down call coming. I formation. Bookman gets the call off the right side. He won't get to the line of scrimmage. Terrific defensive work by the Bulldogs.
And, wow, Jim, we're talking about youth in there. Tristan English is the guy who came up, just a sophomore. He got stepping through. He's a yard in the backfield where he hits a solid running back and stops him dead. Big play by the sophomore, Tristan English.
4th and 3. Hazleton area. Tripp and Boone. Deep, anticipating the Luke Russo punt. It's a high snap. He can't come up with it. Then he does, and Benny Knorr's all over him at the 11-yard line. Berwick gets a huge break and a chance to build on that 12-9 lead.
It was a very high snap. Luke Russo, who only does the punting, went high and one-handed and was able to get a little bit of the ball and pull it down toward himself. Down to the ground, he's debating, can I kick this? What can I do? If I pick it up, I'm tackled. Nowhere to go. Did the best he could. The high snap, though, sets Berwick up very well.
1st and 10 Bulldogs at the Hazleton area 15-yard line. 6:45 to go in the 3rd. Berwick leading 12-9. Knorr will operate out of the gun. Aiden Mason to his left. In motion comes Tripp. Fake handoff. Knorr keeps it. Then a Knorr to the 10 and the 9-yard line. Good 1st down carry for 6.
Sean Hunsinger coming down the line of scrimmage, wrapping and being drug on the 6-yard gain. That was a touchdown play. Fake it one way with Aiden Mason on the fullback dive. Counter it another way with the quarterback, Benny Knorr. They came back to it here, and it paid dividends for 6.
2nd down and 4. Berwick at the Cougar 9-yard line.
Personnel problems, Jimmy. Will Berwick need a timeout? Just got everyone in the huddle. Count the people. Make sure you're okay.
Plenty of time on that play clock. 10 and 9. Knorr out of the gun. Keeps it himself off the right side. Benny Knorr dives for the end zone. He's in for a touchdown. 3rd touchdown of the game for quarterback Benny Knorr.
Again, a fake, a little counter action one way, but being blocked the other side. Doubling down over right guard, kicking out, follows the blockers, gets to the linebacker level, cuts inside. Tripped up about the 2, but able to walk on his hands for the final yard and get it in.
Now we'll see what Berwick does. The lead is 18-9.
This is where I ask an assistant coach, what do we do?
Yeah.
There's a card that tells you when you go for 1 or when you go for 2, but the math often gets tricky.
So they're going to go for 2. Knorr under center. Aiden Mason, the lone running back behind him. In motion, Sheptak. Knorr keeps it himself. He has stood up short of the goal line. So the extra point attempt fails. Berwick's 0 for 3 in those. But the lead builds. 5:49 to go, 3rd quarter. Berwick 18. Hazleton area 9. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLN.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Berwick plays the role of opportunist. Bad punch snap by Hazleton area. Bulldogs take over at the 15-yard line of the Cougars, and 2 plays later, Benny Knorr in from the 9-yard line for the score. His 3rd rushing touchdown of this game. And the Bulldogs lead at 18-9, 5:49 remaining in the 3rd.
Berwick came back to the plays that were successful for them early in the game. Benny Knorr running counters.
Hinkle's kick skitters along the turf. High hop for Casadas at the 16-yard line to the 20, the 25, the 30. Matt Casadas brought down at about the 33-yard line.
Nice hit in there. Hunter Madel getting the first shot on him.
So the Cougars will get it for the 3rd time in this 3rd quarter. It's been 3 and out on their first 2.
It has. Berwick stiffened on defense. Know what to expect. Keying on Bookman and also locking on those receivers very well and helping them in passing plays. Strong pass rush by the front 4.
Keller Warner trots on after getting his assignment from the sideline. Senior quarterback will operate out of the gun. Matt Bookman to his left. Double slot formation. Berwick showing blitz, and then they back off. Call goes. No, it's straight ahead. The ball is loose at the 30-yard line, and Berwick is able to get it. I thought they were trying to hand off to Bookman. Maybe they were, and almost lost the football. As it is, it's a loss of 4 back to the 29.
Keller Warner came up with it, Jim, and I'm wondering if it's one of those you call a play like fake draw, quarterback run, and they don't hear it all. Because there was a real problem with the exchange, and Keller Warner able to come back up with it.
2nd down and 14, Cougars. Warner out of the gun, back to throw. He is in trouble, gets out of it, has some running room, hit hard as he gets out to about the 36-yard line.
Tajee Taylor hurrying from his hook zone on up, collides with the quarterback and one of his own players. I think his fellow teammate took the worst of the shot. Hunter Madel kind of shaking his head a little groggy after that.
We've talked about the front 4 for Berwick. Right now, Andrew Blockus is in there to tackle. 6 foot, 220-pound junior, as Hazleton area needs to convert to avoid going 3 times with the 3 and out here in the 3rd. They have a 3rd down and 7 at their 37. Warner has the shotgun snap, and he's back to throw, and he has time, and he fires, and he has his man for first down over midfield to the Berwick 45-yard line. Christian Price with his first catch of the game.
Just his 6th catch of the year. They know attention is going to Casadas and Chamonix, so they throw it to a different receiver, Christian Price, whose skinny post over the middle is enough for the first down and more, crossing the 50.
18 yards on the reception. 1st and 10, Cougars at the Berwick 45. That's a big conversion on 3rd down and 7. Didn't want to give up the ball, trailing 18-9. Clock running, 3:49 to go in the 3rd. Slot to the left. Shimani, wide receiver right. Casadas in motion. Back to throw to Shimani. Makes the catch. He's going to score. Over the middle, beats his man, gets it at the 25, in for the touchdown.
And a late flag, very late after the touchdown was scored. At least I saw the yellow come up. I didn't see it land. Maybe a celebration. We'll see. The touchdown will stand. Shimani's on the right side. He's posting. There is a real deliberate fake. It might have brought the safety up, but for whatever reason, the corner is beaten to the inside. the safety's not in position to intercept or deflect it, and he catches it, and then off to the races for Shimani.
And now Luke Russo can make this a 2-point game with the extra point. The hold will be by Warner. Snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out on the field. 3:35 to go in the third. Berwick 18. Hazleton area 16. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio HLM.
You haven't had the best until you've been to Romeo's Italian Submarines. Romeo's Italian Submarines. You've got to try them. Romeo's menu includes their popular wings, wraps, ice cream, and so much more. Romeo's Italian Submarines. Open till 9 Sunday through Thursday, until 10 Friday and Saturday. Visit Romeo's Italian Submarines at 1306 Orange Street in Berwick, or visit their Facebook page to check out their delicious menu and their specials. They also offer delivery to the local Berwick area. Romeo's is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs football team. Go Dogs!
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Hazleton strikes with a big play. 45-yard touchdown pass. Keller Warner to Connor Shamami. Luke Russo with the extra point. We have a good one going from Harmon Guys Stadium tonight. 3:35 to go in the third. Berwick 18. Hazleton area 16.
Jimmy, I apologize. I swear I saw something yellow going up in front of my line of vision, but I never saw a flag.
You did. It was a sideline warning.
Okay.
So Russo will kick it off following his extra point. You have to wonder if extra points will come back to haunt the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
They are 0 for 3 in that department.
Yeah, right now a field goal could win this for the Cougars if it's the end of the game.
Russo to kick it off. 18-16 Berwick. High kick to the far side. Tripp has to go through his hands into the end zone. It should be a touchback because the momentum took him into the end zone. And so Berwick will have it at the 20-yard line.
Russo has a talent of kicking it between the numbers and the sideline, and you're debating, do I play this? Do I play it on a bounce? Do I let it bounce and hope it goes out of bounds? Second time Isaac Tripp had to make a decision. There he's not quite convinced which way to go, muffs it, but its momentum takes it into the end zone, and when he goes to pick it up, they blow it dead.
1st and 10 for Berwick. Bulldogs will be going against a Hazleton area defense that's without one of their best defenders, and Kevin Mileski.
Yeah. And you miss him offensively as well, Jim. They've been playing Dante Mattarella in that fullback position. They like him at tight end.
Aiden Mason to the right of Benny Noor, who awaits the shotgun snap from the 20. Back to throw. Fires, has his man, Sheptak. Sheptak trying to get away. Cannot. He'll lose yardage on the play. Berwick just has no passing game whatsoever. Even a completion results in a loss.
Took the swing pass a yard or so behind the line of scrimmage, and Connor Kundrat's right on him. He's able to spin away from that, but by that time, more people come in on him, and it results in a loss of 3-4 yards.
2nd down and 13. Loss of 3 back to the 17-yard line. Benny Noor returns from the sideline where he got the play call. Berwick's an offense that doesn't like to get in the long yardage situations where they've had their share since early in this game. Noor out of the gun. Aiden Mason to his left. Slap to the left. Sheptak in motion. Fake. Noor keeps the football and gets what he can. It's not much to the 19-yard line.
Jason Beaver, 6'4", 280 pounds, staying with the quarterback as he goes from left side to right side. Able to hold him and trip him up. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, does Benny Noor.
3rd down. They're marking it at the 20, so give him 3 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 10. And, boy, when you can't throw the football, these situations are desperation situations.
Well, one advantage is the wide side of the field is to the right if you move him out of the pocket.
Noor out of the gun. Has the snap. Back to throw. Looking. Here comes the rush. Gets by one man, gets by another, and is brought down about the 26-yard line. Beaver again in on the play. So he gets what he can, but it's not much, and the punt team will come on for Berwick.
Yeah, Berwick protecting that 2-point lead. He's going to give up field position near midfield, if not worse.
Sheptak back to do the punting for the Bulldogs. Connor Shamani, who caught that touchdown pass on the Cougars' last possession, is back deep along with Matthew Bookman. The kick is away by Sheptak. This one's a line drive. Takes a high hop. Bookman at the 35-yard line to the 40. To the 45. Bookman to midfield. To the Berwick 48-yard line. Flag down on the play.
Well behind. I thought there might have been a little push in the back that I wouldn't have thrown a flag on up closer to the return. This is about 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, so we'll see how that goes. Illegal use of hands. These flags can only go against the return team, so we'll catch a break with the flag.
Good field position, but not as good as the Cougars take over with 59.6 seconds to go in the third quarter, and Berwick leading this one by a score of 18-16. The penalty brings them back to their own 37-yard line.
A lot of momentum in this game. Berwick has been playing with a lot of defensive confidence, but does that quick score touchdown on the skinny post, break that confidence up? I don't see it happening. Seen a lot more of Matt Lanzinski as he's playing outside linebacker or defensive end in this series.
1st and 10. Cougars. Casadas in motion to the left side. Warner back to throw. Hit as he gets it off to Shamani. Makes a tremendous catch inside the Berwick 30-yard line. Oh, Rowan Slabinski all over that tall wide receiver. But he makes a great catch, and give credit also to Keller Warner. He was level, just barely got that pass away.
Yeah, Shamani's 6'1", but Rowan Slabinski is 6'2", and he had very, very nice coverage. So to fight off all of the chicken fighting at the top, they both went up high toward the football. But he had great concentration to keep his hands fixed on that football and pull it in on the sideline.
Connor Shamani, a 35-yard reception, and the Cougars in business at the Bulldog 28-yard line. Slot to the left. Casadas in motion to the left. Warner keeps the football. He's going to be dragged down for a loss by Matt Lanzinski back at the 37-yard line.
Mentioned him at defensive end, able to spell these other sophomores. He comes in. He has good size, quarterbacking talent. But they use this size to get him some time at defensive end. There he beats his man and goes wide. There's the quarter, Jim.
3 in the books. A good one here at Harmon Guys Stadium. Berwick 18, Hazleton area 16. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning sells comfort. Since 1972, S.J. Kowalski understands the importance of doing business locally. They service what they sell and take pride in customer satisfaction. S.J. Kowalski is a trained comfort specialist, a Lennox dealer, and they are Northeastern Pennsylvania's premier dealer of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split systems. S.J. Kowalski also sells and installs energy-efficient Renai water heaters and geothermal systems. Call 1-888-KOWALSKI and ask about special promotions and zero-interest financing.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Ready to start the fourth quarter play. Berwick clinging to an 18-16 lead over Hazleton area. The Cougars have it at the Berwick 34-yard line to start this final period. But thanks to a defensive play by Matt Lanzinski, the sophomore, the Cougars face a 2nd down and 16 at the Bulldog 34.
Yeah, individual play. He beat the tackle trying to block him, swam away. He was the only man getting the penetration there, and he's able to get the big-time quarterback sack Berwick needed.
Slot to the left, slot to the right. Warner out of the gun, back to throw. Tries to dump a pass off to Bookman, makes the catch on the run, runs hard, but gets to about just the 27-yard line. Sean Sheptak there for the Bulldogs.
running other people deep downfield, trying to take the secondary with them. Sean Sheptak from free safety, reading the swing pass out of the backfield. Bookman has a nice long frame, able to stretch out and get that. Catch up with a pass I thought was a little overthrown.
7 yards on the reception. 3rd down and 9. Cougars at the Berwick 27-yard line.
I think it's 4th down territory, Jim, so if you want to sort of mix in a run, you can, or you can mix in a shorter pass. You don't necessarily have to get the chains here.
Shamani's been the man. He's got single coverage. He's wide to the right. Warner back to throw. He's looking that way. Throws it up there, incomplete. Devin Smith on the coverage for the Bulldogs. Pass goes high. Let's see what the Cougars come up with. This will be a very long field goal. Russo does have a good foot. But I think we'll see a play from scrimmage from the 27.
Yeah, they saw the matchup they wanted and automatically said, we're throwing to Shamani and a jump ball. He's 6'1", and we saw the jumping ability and the focus. Devin Smith going just 5'8". Had nice position, but when the man turned and decided to jump, the ball had to be overthrown or it would have been completed.
Boy, don't be surprised to see him go that way again if it's the same matchup. This time there's 3 receivers to the right and Price to the left. Here we go. 4th and 9 for the Berwick 27. Big call early here in the 4th. Berwick clinging to a 2-point lead, and Warner's back to throw, and he's looking long into the end zone, and it's incomplete. Flag down the play.
Sean Sheptak, the free safety, was forced into coverage on Evan Matthews, and he leaned into him. I'd have thrown that flag as well. All the attention was going to the right side. This man burst and posted down the middle. Sheptak was there, but I don't know if he lost his balance or for some reason there was sort of a falling into him contact right near the goal line.
And Sean can't know this, but I don't think that was going to be complete.
No, I think it was going to come up short. And I don't even know if it was intentional contact. It might have been, they sort of tripped in trying to get to him. But in any case, it'll be a first down for Hazleton with great field position.
1st and 10, half the distance at the 13-yard line. Just underway here in the 4th. Hazleton area has never led in this game, but they're down 2, and they have it at the Berwick 13-yard line. Mattarella to the right of Warner, who gives on the play to Bookman. Big hole up the middle. He goes in untouched for a touchdown. Matt Bookman in from 13 yards out. Hazleton area with their first lead of the night.
He had a very nice seam to run through, and they give him that. The offensive line is strong. 234 pounds a man, all seniors have you been highlighting throughout the night, Jim. They know their assignments, a little cross-blocking, whatever it was, on a little bit of a draw look, a little bit of a delay. He's able to take that seam and take it all the way in with the great interference his offensive line created for him.
Now Hazleton area with that 4-point lead will try to make it 6 as they'll go for 2. As Bookman with the touchdown run, his 3rd of the season. Warner out of the gun. Slot to the right, slot to the left. Warner has the snap back to throw. Wide open receiver on the far side. It is Matt Bookman. And Hazleton builds the lead. 10:55 to play. Cougars 24, Bulldogs 18. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLN.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Trying to beat Berwick for the first time since 2009. Hazleton area has their first lead of this game. 10:55 to go. Cougars 24, Bulldogs 18. They've just capped a 5-play, 63-yard drive. 63 yards. 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 Big plays, 35-yard pass to Connor Shimani, and then that pass interference call against the Bulldogs on a 4th down and 9 as Russo will kick it off.
He's been kicking toward the sideline and able to keep the bounce from going out of bounds. Problematic kicks for the returners.
Russo's kick, very, very high. This one up the middle, trip at the 14 to the 20 to the 25, and tackled well by Mattarella in the open field at about the 27, maybe the 28-yard line.
Yeah, nice short tackle there by Mattarella as Berwick will take over. The question is, where is the offense? What can they do? One pass completed in just 3 attempts, and that pass minus 3 yards on a swing to Sean Sheptak. The passing game's not there. There's no time. Quarterback, when he's had a little bit of time, has been a little bit off target. The running game has been the quarterback on counters. Hazleton has kind of wised up to that look. Fullback power was there early. 20 yards in his first 3 carries for Aiden Mason. 5 carries later, just at 27.
Bulldogs 1st and 10, moving from our left to our right. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Knorr keeps the football. He's got to be dragged down after a very short gain on the play. James Bugda, 5'8", 230-pound senior, in on the play for the Cougars. It's the 1st down carry will gain just a yard. 2nd down and 9.
He meshed with the fullback in the option read, and it seemed there was a bit of a disagreement. Should it be taken or given or kept? I think he saw on his read it was going nowhere, and it did go nowhere.
2nd down and 9. Knorr under center. Fake toss. Swings it out to Aiden Mason. Gets a good block. Over the 35 to the 40 and dragged out the 44-yard line for 1st down.
Got a real nice block on the outside, as you mentioned, Jim. I had the lineman's number for just a minute, and I lost it all that quickly. Might have been Nate Traw out there that gave him that little kick out that allowed him to turn it upfield on the swing. Quarterback gave a little look to the right and then came back to the left with the swing pass. Aiden Mason caught it, caught the block he needed, and a successful completion there.
15 yards on the gain. 1st and 10, Berwick. Bulldogs at their own 44-yard line. Center Bruce Hartman over the football there. Benny Knorr will operate out of the gun. Slot to the right, wide receiver left. Knorr has the snap. Back to throw. Fires over the middle. Has his man. A completion by Tajee Taylor to the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. He's in for a touchdown. Tajee Taylor's first reception of the season. First of his career. It goes for a 56-yard score, and Berwick has tied it up.
Talk about surprises. He's tight end on the right side. Ran over the middle, behind the linebackers, in front of the safety. Caught it, worked his way to the far side, to the Berwick sideline, the direction in which he was running, and then showed superior speed. I thought people had the angles on him, but he outran the angles to the end zone.
So Berwick has tied it up. They have not made an extra point in this game. Hinkle will try to give them a lead with one. Last time they tried to kick it, it was a bad snap. This is a good snap. The hold is there. The kick is up. The kick is good. Time on the field, 9:20 to go in this one. Berwick, 25. Hazleton area, 24. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio HLM.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
An electrifying touchdown pass. Benny Knorr to tight end Tajee Taylor. 56 yards as Berwick has quickly regained the lead. 9:20 remaining. Bulldogs 25, Cougars 24.
Didn't even have Tajee Taylor on my list of receivers for potentially making catches. Add him in quickly. Boy, what a talent. From right tight end over the middle, continues across the field, and then up the sideline with great speed.
Brendan Hinkle's kick. This time he kicks it long. Casadas back at the 9. To the 10, to the 15, to the 20, the 25, to the 30, the 35, the 40. Still on his feet all the way out to midfield. So Berwick finally kicks it long, and it comes back to bite him.
They have talented return people. You just know that they're able to do it. That's why they were kicking short earlier. Hunter Madel hit him about 15 yards before the return ended, but he couldn't bring him down. Eventually, Devin Smith and a few others. But a return across midfield.
50-yard kick return by Matt Casadas at Hazleton area at the Berwick 49-yard line with a 1st and 10. Bulldogs lead it by 1. Call goes to Bookman. Bookman tries the middle and not much doing. A yard maybe on the play.
Tristan English filling on the inside, and then all the people around him squeezing on down to it.
Including Aiden Mason, who's now in there at a linebacker spot. They mark it at the 47, so they give him 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8.
Yeah. Counter tray action has been successful when they've gone. It gets that little bit of deception plus power at the point of attack, but not on that play.
2nd down and 8. Cougars at the Bulldog 47. Slot to the right. Give is to Bookman off the right side. This time there's running room, and it gets the 1st down inside the Berwick 40-yard line.
One of the coaches up top said, let's run inside their defensive ends. They're over-penetrating. So they let the defensive end come, just kept pushing him wide, letting him get what would be a pass rush, but then run inside of him very, very successfully.
He needed 8. He got 8. 1st and 10. Hazleton area at the Berwick 39-yard line. As we go to 8 minutes remaining in the game. Berwick clinging to a 1-point lead. Slot to the right. Warner back to throw. Pump fake. He's going to be sacked back near midfield.
Hunter Madel on the blitz. Not a name you'd expect. We haven't mentioned his name all year till this game. Finally getting some defensive action, and here he makes his coaches proud as he blitzes up the middle, and that sack is a 10-yard loss.
Make it 9 back to the 48. 2nd down and 19 for the Cougars. Huge defensive play. The only thing is, with this Cougar offense and these receivers, there's no yardage beyond their reach. They've got 3 talented receivers to the right.
Keep the pressure coming. 5th sack for Berwick.
Warner back to throw, and he's looking over the middle. He's got a man wide open. Casadas down at the 26-yard line for 1st down.
The talent's there, Jim. It's back and forth. One team makes a great play. The other team matches it with a great play. He's on the right side in the slot. He's posting, not quite to the center of the field. But the quarterback, Keller Warner, really put it in there, drilled it well on a line, put it on his numbers, and Casadas has the great hands. He's not dropping it.
He is shaken up on the play as he goes to the sideline. Evan Matthews replaces him 22 yards on a 2nd and 19. And now the Cougars at the Berwick 26-yard line.
Watch for them going back to their running game with Bookman.
Slot to the right side. In motion comes Evan Matthews and whistles.
I don't know why. Everyone's looking this way and that way.
Illegal procedure against the Cougars. So it'll be a 1st and 15 back at the Berwick 31-yard line. This Berwick defense is coming up with some big plays tonight. They need a stand here as the clock shows 6:20 to play. Their lead a single point at Hazleton area at the Berwick 31-yard line with a 1st and 15. Christian Price wide left. Slot to the right. In motion comes Evan Matthews. The give is to Bookman off the right side. He's got some running room. Still on his feet. Good second effort. and he gets to the 22-yard line.
Again, Berwick's defensive end on that side is over-penetrating. He's taking himself out of the play, allowing for an easy shield block and kick out. There's a wide gap then in the C gap that Bookman's able to hit.
9 yards on the carry. 2nd down and 6. Cougars at the Bulldog 22-yard line. Again, you look at that Berwick defense, a lot of new faces from what would have, should have been the starting lineup. Try to dig in here. 2nd down and 6. Gives to Bookman again. Off the right side. This time the Berwick defense is up to the task, and he'll get very little.
Ran it tighter inside, more of an off tackle or between the guard and tackle play on the right side, putting it to their offensive line to create that push. They didn't get that much as Berwick stayed stout, just a yard or so.
3rd down and 5. Hazleton area at the Berwick 21-yard line. Under 5 to play in the game.
Jim, if they get stuffed here, if you're Hazleton, you kick a field goal from here?
Well, it depends
That's
on
tough.
how much confidence they have. And Luke Russo has been very good in place kicks this season. Don't know what his range is there. Here's the 3rd and 5. Warner back to throw. Fires quickly. Has his man. Breaking out of a tackle is Price. And he gets to the 12-yard line. Oh, Berwick had him short of the sticks. Couldn't bring him down.
1-on-1. Give the man Price a lot of credit. He would not go down no matter how hard the defender hung on, tried, eventually spun away before help comes from the Berwick side to stop him from getting the touchdown.
Now Hazleton area really in business. They can melt this clock. Obviously they'd like to get in for the touchdown, but they're certainly in field goal range as we go under 4 minutes remaining in the game.
Field goals are not automatic in high school, though.
Protector at either side of Warner. 1st and 10 from the 12. Bookman the call. Bookman straight ahead. Bookman drags the tackler down the 5-yard line. As Berwick's getting weary, Matt Bookman is getting stronger.
Yes, he is, Jim. Give him 85 yards on the game. His offensive line smells it as well. These seniors want to win over Berwick. They realize how important it would be. Tristan English really grabbed on, and while he took a little bit of a ride, rather strong effort to get to the play and then eventually wrestled the tough runner down.
The ball at the Berwick 8-yard line. 2nd down and 6. This all started with a spectacular kick return by Matt Casadas. He is in there wide to the left. 4 receivers to the right. Empty backfield for Warner, who operates out of the gun. Has the snap, quarterback draw, looks for room. He's going to be tackled down around the 3-yard line.
I was sensing quarterback run there. I think they want to play this safe. Eventually a nice play by Ethan Hughes to squeeze him. He's a foot away from the chains and about, 2 yards or so away from the goal line.
The ball at the Berwick 3. 3rd down and 1. Clock running. Berwick with 3 timeouts remaining, but if Hazleton area doesn't score this one, there's not going to be a lot of time when the Bulldogs do get the ball back. Natarella is the fullback, ahead of Bookman in the eye. They need one. Natarella gets the call off the left side, has the 1st down, wants the touchdown. The officials give it to him. As they kept pushing him from behind, there was no whistle, and he gets in for the score.
Dante Natarella with just his 4th carry of the season. Given one from the fullback spot where he's taken over from Kevin Mileski. They give it to the up man. They use his beef. He goes off the left side. He stopped about the 1, but he doesn't go down. The scrum is there, and then from behind, the Hazleton players push and push. A legal push by the new rulings, and he gets in for the score.
Now the Cougars will go for 2 to try and make it a 7-point lead. There is 2:12 remaining. And Berwick, as I mentioned, with their full complement of timeouts remaining. And now the Cougars will use a timeout. We'll keep it right here.
I think they had the wrong personnel in, Jim, so they had to call the timeout. Yeah, they earned that one. The great kick return, as you mentioned, and then fine play calling to get them down into position. Very talented squad. Good mix of veteran seniors in the offensive line. A couple seniors popped here and there throughout the lineup, but that good youthful core that they're able to use with that talent.
Yeah, every score they've had, there's been a big play from those wide receivers, and that touchdown drive just completed of 11 plays, 49 yards, 22 yards to Matt Casadas on a 2nd down and 19 situation. We saw Shamani come up big in the second half with 2 big catches, one for a touchdown, one that put him into Berwick territory. I just think this Berwick defense just got worn down.
I think so. A lot of players forced into two-way action. You also had a stretch where you weren't allowed to practice. That takes away some of your conditioning. I'm sure players tried to do running on their own, but not the same when you're on the practice field.
So here is the 2-point conversion try by the Cougars, and they've spread it out all over the place. Bookman's going to take the direct snap. He's going to go up the gut looking for the end zone. The officials indicate no. He did not make it. Bookman didn't get in. Timeout on the field. 2:12 to play. Hazleton area 30. Berwick 25. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLN.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Hazleton senior quarterback Keller Warner just yelled up to the fans here on the home side, "We need you right now." Well, Hazleton area leads Berwick 30-25. They are 2 minutes and 12 seconds away from breaking a 10-game losing streak in the series with Berwick. But the Bulldogs do have some time, and they have 3 timeouts remaining. As Russo will kick it off for the Cougars. Berwick down 5. Russo's kick will be fielded on the high hop by Tripp. He gets to the 20, the 25, and it's brought down about the 28-yard line.
Getting down there is Michael Maston to wrap things up. We've seen a lot of him on specialty team play. So Berwick does have a long way to go, Jim, but we saw the quick hitter to Tajee Taylor as the passing game did come alive in that last series. Seems like forever ago.
So this is the series that will decide this game. 2:05 on the clock. Berwick with 3 timeouts remaining. Bulldogs need a touchdown. They're 74 yards away. Slot to the right side, slot to the left. Knorr out of the gun. Aiden Mason to his left. Knorr back to throw. Fires has Sheptak. Sheptak ridden out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. So they'll pick up about 7 and stop the clock with 1:59 to go.
Yeah, nice play. Be patient. Connor Kundrad eventually pushing him out of bounds. Sheptak realizing he wasn't going to get much more. Works his way to the sideline to stop and save time.
2nd down and 3. Berwick at their 33. Slot to the right, slot to the left. Knorr out of the gun. Has the snap. Back to throw. Fires the ball. Is tipped. Tipped at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete.
Yes, it was. That was number 51, Jim. Johan Robles getting the hand up. Not that much pressure on the quarterback as they're coming with a bit of a controlled pass rush. But able to get the big mid up and take the passing lane away.
3rd and 3. Most likely 4-down territory for Berwick, even though they have the ball at their own 33-yard line. They trail by 5, 1:55 to go. Knorr was under center, backs up into the gun. has the snap, fakes handoff, keeps the football, gets ahead, comes up about a yard short of the first down at the 36.
Yeah, I think they were told to keep an eye on that quarterback, Dante Mattarella, the touchdown scorer, able to come in defensively. 4th and about a foot, Jim.
And Berwick will use one of their timeouts. 1:37 to go. Bulldogs lead at trail 30-25. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLN.
Do you have the right financial advisor to help you reach your goals? Ameriprise Advisors can create a personalized, goal-based plan to help you prepare for whatever life brings, so you can feel more confident about your financial future. Call Jeffrey McKinnon, Certified Financial Planner with McKinnon Financial Group, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. 570-520-4137. The office is located at 118B East 3rd Street in Berwick, Pennsylvania. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Member of FINRA and SIPC.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Do or die for the Bulldogs. They trail 30-25, 1:37 to go. They have 4th down and a foot. The ball just over their own 36-yard line. They've had a timeout to talk about it.
Could be a quarterback sneak. Watch Hazleton bunch up in the middle.
Knorr under center. Aiden Mason behind him. 4th down call. Long count.
Trying to bark them off sides.
In motion. The call goes to Aiden Mason. He's got the first down, then some. Off the sideline, upper midfield. The 45 and forced out of bounds near the Hazleton area 40-yard line. Berwick gets the first down and then a whole lot more.
Yes, they do. And the receiver, I think, on the wide side, who could have given him one more block, might have been able to spring him all the way. Slabinski was out there, but thinking, hey, all we're doing is trying to fight for a yard and get the next play run. Wasn't quite in position to give the block that Aiden Mason needed.
22 yards on the carry. 1st and 10 at the Hazleton area 42. 1:31 to play. Tajee Taylor wide to the right. Tripp comes in motion. Fake handoff. Quarterback Knorr keeps the football, gets inside the 40 to the Hazleton area 38 as that clock continues to run. 1:20 remaining in the game.
Attempting to run that quarterback counter action. It broke big throughout the game. Quarterback has 3 touchdown runs throughout the game, but it gets minimal yardage. 4 yards, not enough now as we're approaching 1 minute left to play.
Boy, and the Bulldogs using a lot of precious time. 2nd down call coming. Under a minute now to play. Knorr fires a pass. It's batted down in his face.
Robles again.
And a flag down on the play.
Ooh, I'm surprised. Was it on what they're going to call roughing the passer?
That's the only thing it could be.
Oh.
The only thing it could be.
I'd side with Hazleton if they complain on this one, Jim. Robles came in hard from the quarterback's left. Had his hand up, batted it down, and basically continued forward with the arm action. Momentum took him into the quarterback, but it was a bit of a blow to the head.
They're putting the flag away.
I think they should if they talk about that. Yeah, I don't think that was worthy. I mean, it's not in Berwick's favor. Berwick would certainly benefit from a 15-yard penalty. You have to earn your victory.
3rd and 6. Bulldogs at the Cougar 38. 54.8 seconds to go. Hazleton area leading by 5. Tajee Taylor wide right. Sheptak and Mason on either side of Knorr, who has the snap. Big pass rush. Keeps the football. Gets by one man and another. Comes up just short, I believe, of the yardage for the first down near the 33.
Which makes it difficult. They're stopping the clock.
Timeout, Berwick. We'll keep it here with 47.1 seconds to go. Boy, that was a terrific effort by Benny Knorr.
It was. Again, being forced to run because there's no pass protection. Takes it up the middle. Fights. Going to come up a foot short. The problem is it's going to force Berwick to take a play to get the first down. Then they don't want to use the timeout, so they want 2 plays ready. Quarterback sneak is probably the best bet if you can assure yourself you're going to get it. Because then you can just line right up again and hope to get another play off, maybe even down the football.
47.1 remaining in the game. It's been a terrific one tonight from Harmon Guy Stadium. Hazleton area leading Berwick 30-25. Bulldogs with one timeout remaining. Following this timeout, they have 4th down and 1 at the Cougar 33.
It's a very short one, the length of the football. That's why I'm mentioning quarterback sneak. When you know the snap count, you have an advantage, even though Hazleton can put a lot of beef on the inside. Last short yardage play, they took Aiden Mason off the left side, and he got significant yardage.
Here we go. Bulldogs must convert to stay in this one. In motion is Tripp. The call goes to Aiden Mason off the left side. They push him back, but I believe he's got the first down.
Yeah, forward progress will get it. The question is, do they stop the clock? They'll move the chains, and Berwick should hustle to the line of scrimmage.
2 yards for Aiden Mason. 1st and 10. Berwick 31 yards away from a win, but the clock begins to run. 37 seconds, 35. Knorr back to throw. Looking long, throws it up for grabs for Taylor. The ball is tipped and incomplete. Taji Taylor, the intended receiver, inside the 10-yard line. Clock stops. 25.9 seconds to go. Berwick 2nd and 10 at the Hazleton area 31.
Sean Sheptak also in the area, so it's almost like a Hail Mary toward two tall receivers. Throw it up, see who can win the jump ball, and nothing wrong with that strategy. I like it. Better off to get them on into the end zone, but that needs protection time for the quarterback.
2nd and 10, Bulldogs at the Cougar 31. Berwick trailing by 5. Rowan Slobinski, wide left. Tripp wide right. Knorr out of the gun. Low snap. Gets the ball, throws it long downfield, headed for Sheptak, and incomplete. Ooh. Incomplete down near the goal line.
Ooh. I thought he caught it in and stepped out at the one. Very high pass. You mentioned the low lateral snap coming back from the center. It threw the quarterback's rhythm off, so he hustled the pass, put a lot of air under it, and threw it to that corner, just short of the goal line pylon. Boy, from my perspective, I thought Sean Sheptak had a chance of making the catch there and maybe even stepping in with it, but ruled as out of bounds.
3rd and 10, 19 seconds to play. Berwick at the Cougar 31-yard line. Knorr under center. Mason, the running back, behind him. Tripp comes in motion. Double handoff. Ball is loose. Still loose. Scramble on. Big loss on the play. Hazleton area on the ball. Berwick tried the double handoff. The result is a turnover, and Hazleton takes over 11.6 seconds to go. We'll probably have a penalty against Hazleton area, but it's a celebration penalty, and I can't blame them.
Nope. Big-time celebration when you can beat that arch rival who's been commanding with wins over you in the last decade. Double handoff. I don't know if it was the reverse itself. I think they wanted to go with that flea flicker. I think it was to buy some time for the quarterback. They tried it last week and it worked nicely at Williamsport. But penetration, by the time the second handoff is made, there's no ability to get the pitch. The handoff's up in the air, bouncing around. Hazleton's going to take a timeout just to get themselves settled on how they want to take their knee and enjoy this last breath of success in this victory.
Wild game. If you're just joining us, Berwick scored in their first 2 possessions to take a 12-0 lead. Hazleton area took their first lead early in the 4th quarter. And after a electrifying 56-yard touchdown pass, Benny Knorr to Taji Taylor, they gave Berwick the 1-point lead. Cougars then got a huge kick return by Matt Casadas to the Berwick 49 and put together an 11-play scoring drive. Dante Mattarella in for the score. That's the difference now. And Hazleton area will get in the victory formation and celebrate their first win over Berwick since 2009. A 10-game streak for the Bulldogs. comes to an end here tonight, but not without a fight. As Warner under center will take a knee, and that will do it. The final score, Hazleton area 30, Berwick 25. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative EP Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
We're Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg, home of the Blaze Alexander lowest price guaranteed. Whether it's a new GMC Sierra 4x4, Acadia, or Terrain, or any of the full lineup of Buick SUVs, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed. We've got a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles too. Local one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Why shop anywhere else when you'll get the best selection, the best financing, and the most for your trade at Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg? We're taking deals the other guys won't.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
Berwick Bulldog football. HLM.
Benny Knorr, quarterback for the Bulldogs, raced 38 yards up the middle for the touchdown to take a 6-0 lead. The extra point failed on a bad snap. Then Hazleton area took over. They faced a 4th and 1 near midfield. Went for it. Didn't get it. Tajee Taylor with a big defensive stop on Matt Bookman. Bulldogs then scored quickly on another Benny Knorr touchdown run of 46 yards. The pass for the extra point failed, but with 6:17 to go in the opening quarter, Berwick had a 12-0 lead. Hazleton area then got a big break. Benny Knorr fumbled the football in Berwick territory. Ryan Matthews recovered at the 24. 4 plays later, Keller Warner, 19 yards to Matt Casatis for the score. Luke Russo added the extra point. After 1 quarter play, Berwick's lead was 12-7. In the second quarter, Berwick deep in their own territory, back at their own 3, facing 3rd and 22. They tossed the ball to Sean Sheptak, who tried to sweep the right side, could not get to the end zone, tackled there for the safety, cutting Berwick's lead to 12-9. Hazleton area then had a chance to take the lead into halftime. They had a 3rd down and 7 at the Berwick 17-yard line. They decided to go for the score. Pass in the end zone was intercepted by Sean Sheptak deep in the end zone and almost took it the distance. He did return it to the 45-yard line. Berwick ended the half with a 12-9 lead. In the 3rd quarter, Berwick took advantage of a big break. Luke Russo back to punt in Cougar territory. Bad snap. Berwick taking over at the Cougar 15-yard line. 2 plays later, Benny Knorr in from 9 yards out for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. The run for the extra point failed. Berwick led 18-9. Cougars came right back. 4 plays, 67 yards. Keller Warner, 45 yards to his outstanding sophomore wide receiver, Connor Shamani. Russo kicked the extra point. Berwick's lead was just 2, 18-16. The Cougars took their first lead of the game early in the 4th. Matt Buckman, a 13-yard run, capping a 5-play, 63-yard drive. Big plays along the way, a 35-yard completion. Kellen Warner to Connor Shamani. And maybe the biggest call, pass interference against Berwick on a 4th and 9, keeping that drive alive. Warner then threw to Matt Bookman for the conversion. Hazleton led 24-18. That lead didn't last long. Berwick came back, 3 plays, 72 yards. Second play, a 15-yard completion on a dump off to Aiden Mason, and then an electrifying play. Knorr over the middle to Taji Taylor, his first reception, and he goes 56 yards for the score. And Berwick, after the extra point by Brendan Hinkle, leads 25-24. The Bulldogs have been kicking off short all game long. They decided to kick long, see if they could pen the Cougars in, and it backfired as Matt Casadas returned it 50 yards to the Berwick 49-yard line. Then a scoring drive of 11 plays. Big play, a 22-yard completion to Casadas. Dante Mattarelli goes in from 3 yards out with 2:12 to go. The run for the extra point attempt failed. Hazleton area led 30-25. Berwick did get it down into Cougar territory, got as close as to 31, could get no closer. They tried a trick play with a double handoff on a 4th down. It ended in a turnover, and the Cougars snap a 10-game losing streak to Berwick in this series. Hazleton area 30, Berwick 25. Stats in tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Well, statistically, 246 yards for Berwick, 181 for the Hazleton area Cougars. Well, Berwick did play pretty good football and put some numbers up. For Berwick, 171 yards in the ground game, 75 through the air for their 246. Passing, 4 of 11 passing for quarterback Benny Knorr, who struggled to find time to pass throughout. 75 yards, the bulk of it on the one pass to Taji Taylor. Taji Taylor went 56 yards. Beautiful play, as you've described it, Jim, for bright tight end. Got the ball over the middle at about 15, kept going to the Berwick sidelines with his momentum, and then turned it up and showed amazing speed. Beautiful play by Taji Taylor. Had a great game at linebacker as well. Sean Sheptak was targeted twice, both for short passes, so he ends up 2 for just 4 yards. And Aiden Mason caught the other, went 15 yards on a swing pass, 75 yards in the air for Berwick. In the ground game, Aiden Mason is back. He had 10 carries for 51, started strong and then finished strong as well. But there was that middle of the game where nothing Berwick tried was really working. 10 carries for 51 yards for Aiden Mason. Sean Sheptak had 5 carries, no yards. And Isaac Tripp had 1 carry for 11. The bulk of the ball carrying was Benny Knorr. The quarterback ran well. 13 running plays, 109 yards by my tally. So 109 for Benny Knorr, 51 for Aiden Mason. Shows the strength of the running game. Some solid second half passing. 171 on the ground, 75 in the air, 246 for Berwick. 181 is the tally for Hazleton area, but they made it count a little bit more on the scoreboard. Their running game amassed a net of 79 yards. Matthew Bookman, the coach's brother, did a wonderful job. I think he's a very impressive runner. 22 carries, 85 yards. Nice frame on him, good decision-making, good system of running, and very fine blocking. I thought he was very impressive in his 85-yard game. Dante Mattarella had the touchdown run, 3-yarder for him, and a big one it was. He got himself to the 1-yard line, and then a scrum, and then a big push by people behind him. Got him awarded the touchdown. Then it's Keller Warner, the quarterback, 10 carries in all for 13 yards. He did some nice positive running, but I have Berwick sacking him on 5 different occasions, so the minus 13 shows a credit of what the Berwick was doing with its front people. 92 positive yards, 13 negative yards, a net of 79 on 34 rushes for Hazleton. I had them passing 19 times, 11 were complete, and 1 was intercepted. I have them with 102 yards in the airways. We mentioned the talent on this team. Matt Casadas, wonderful, whether it's return game, whether it's defense, whether it's just catching the ball as a receiver. Nice job, 4 catches, 49 yards, and not to be outdone, the other sophomore sensation, Connor Shamani. He had 4 catches for 102 yards. What a combination of sophomores between Bookman and the running back, Casadas and Shamani at the wide receivers. It's a force to be reckoned with for years to come. Christian Price made 2 very important catches, an 18-yarder and a 10-yarder where he just would not go down and allowed the drive to continue for the winning score. 2 catches for 28 yards for him, and Matthew Bookman out of the backfield caught a 7-yarder. In all, 11 catches and 19 attempts. The 1 interception was a masterpiece by Sean Sheptak, who almost took it 107 yards for a score, but caught at midfield. 102 in the air, 79 on the ground, 181 the total for Hazleton. Berwick had more total yardage, or total offense, 246 yards. Just couldn't eke this one out. Jim, when you're playing with limited numbers, so many people out, sooner or later it catches up to you, and I think it caught up to Berwick a little bit in that fourth quarter.
It did, but great effort and great game.
Yes.
This has always been somewhat of a rivalry. I think it's going to pick up in that regard.
I think so. When you're looking at the sophomores that Hazleton's playing, and you look at the super sophomores that Berwick has in that class, yeah, I think it's going to step up in intensity.
With the victory, Hazleton area, their 3rd straight win. They improved to 3-2. They'll be at Dallas next Friday night. For the Bulldogs, they fall to 1-3. They are scheduled to finally play a home opener against Wilkes-Barre area Friday, although we're hearing some reports that game may be moved to Saturday. Just stay tuned for that one. The final again here tonight, Hazleton area 30, Berwick 25. Randy Lickney and our producer Raven Klein, this is Jim Doyle reminding you heard it live on Sports Radio HLN.
You've been listening to Berwick Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you every step of the way. Forge Pub and Eatery, West 11th Street in Berwick. Bear Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Berwick. Berwick Dental Arts, quality care for your dental health. Berwick Notary Center, Orange Street in Berwick. Mason's Monogram Services for all your Bulldog merchandise. The Medicine Shop, East 9th Street in Berwick. Neighbor Fence Company, residential and commercial fencing. First Keystone Community Bank. Yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's vision. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick for all your home improvements. Yannick Real Estate, commercial and residential. The Mayo Funeral Homes of Berwick and Shikshini. Your Berwick State Farm agents Lori Powell, Sean Black, and Melissa Price. Hometown agents who understand Berwick's needs. Riverview Block Inc. of Berwick. Alexander Family Dealership, Central Road off Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Access Gymnastics Academy, East 7th Street in Bloomsburg. Romeo's Italian Submarines and Sasser Sweet Stop, 1306 Orange Street, Berwick. Independence Ford, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling, veteran and military family owned and operated. Tri-County Lumber, South Poplar Street in Berwick. Welsh's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. Jeffrey McKinnon, financial advisor with Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. J. Lilo Jewelers, 140 East Main Street in Bloomsburg. And by Brookdale Senior Living, 420 Schaefer Road in Bloomsburg. HLM is the Valley sports leader.